You ready?
Already, let's do it, dude.
Ready to go. Let me make sure that I have the right scene. I do have the right scene. I can hear my audio on my phone though, because I have a separate recorder because I'm dumb. There we go. I fixed it. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone.
Okay?
Yeah, you sound amazing. You sound perfect. You sound beautiful.
It's like really loud here, dude. Do you mind if I just move somewhere quiet?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it seems like it's really loud, dude. Okay,
Yeah, it should be a bit better.
dude. Are we gonna start with the shots nice and early and show my empty DMs? Okay,
Yeah.
dude. Welcome back, everyone, to the HenricoM podcast / literally just chatting. That is all this is. This is just chatting, and as you can see, we have none other. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Bumfluffski, showing off my empty DMs nice and early. That is me reaching out to brands, guys. That's what it's like. You think it's easy getting here? No. Welcome, dude. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your very, very busy day, because you're a busy man, to spend some time talking to me, my viewers, your viewers, the community, the people. The people. Welcome, brother.
Thanks,
welcome.
Thanks for having me. This is 100% a pitch for brands. Like, I'm glad that you caught on. I wasn't trying to insult you, like, despite everybody on Twitter asking me to. This is like me just saying, listen, brands, slide in, man. You know this guy.
Slide into our DMs, guys.
Do it.
For those of you who may not know, Bumfluffski is a man of the people, a community leader that I see, the number one most hated man on Twitter, ages 17 below. Pretty good stat.
Yeah.
Pretty good stat, I want to say. He doesn't take shit, and I fucking respect you for it. Once again, welcome and thank you very much. I want to start off. I told my chat the story today, showing my empty DMs. Okay, so I've been really like sad and alone recently, and I'm an open person about how I feel, and I've been feeling a little bit. I just want to talk to someone, and I downloaded Tinder because I thought this is a great idea. And I downloaded Tinder, and I updated like my profile, added new photos and all that, and I matched with 10 girls. Okay. Out of the 10 girls, I messaged 7. Out of 7, 1 replied to tell me she already has a boyfriend.
What is she doing what is she doing?
She actually told me that she literally just wanted to deactivate her account. That is why she was on, because she said she accidentally read the message. She felt bad that I could see the read receipt, and she just wanted to like clear it up for me.
She matched with you and deleted Tinder. That's all I'm hearing.
Literally, she did. So I'm making people delete Tinder now. Quick little shout out to Cam Siege and chat for the raid. Thank you very much for bringing everyone hello and welcome to the HenricoM show and the Just Chatting and the podcast. I'm gonna give you the most awkward question ever.
Let's do it.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so maybe like let's start back where it all began. How I got my name.
Yes.
So like I got my name. Yeah. So I got my name because I was born upside down, which is really strange. So born upside down, the doctor slapped me in the face and let out a little fart. And for the first like 13 years of my life, I walked around on my hands.
Nice.
Shirts over my legs and
okay.
Until one day we realized that I was actually just upside down the whole time. So my legal name is Bumfluffski, actually.
Your
my
full name.
Yeah. My gaming tag is actually Chris. I just want it to be a little bit normal somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you like people to know you for who you are. You don't want to hit them with a fake gaming name where you're hiding behind some alias.
No. It's Bumfluffski. It's one word. It's like Ronaldo, like the original one, the good one.
The OGs.
Much.
Yeah. It's a very good story. It's a very good. So you were born butt first, pretty much.
Yeah. And the doctor slapped me in the face, and my face swelled up for quite a while. That's why, like, we just I don't know. I wore nappies. I just thought I was vomiting the whole time, shitting a lot.
Are you bald by choice, or are you actually just bald?
So partly, dude. But okay, so this is gonna steer a little bit. So actually, back in 2012, my mom was like diagnosed with cancer and stuff, and this is not me like trying to like dip. She's got like a lot of influence on my journey, especially more recent. But yeah, going through a treatment and stuff, it was one of the things. I was definitely going bald. So if I grew my hair back, I don't know, I'd look really good with like a little hat on the top. But other than that, yeah, it was mainly to support her and stuff. And then I kind of just stuck with it because it looked way better than. I mean, if anybody was shorter than me, they wouldn't notice the difference. But yeah, the guys that are above me.
I feel like you're one of those people that just rock the ball, dude. Like you're like Jason Statham, dude. I cannot imagine that guy with hair. I cannot imagine you with hair.
I almost don't want to imagine hair.
Exactly. He's such a badass with his bald head.
Kind of want to see him with hair now.
Kind of want to see him with like a proper like a Justin Bieber emo cut, dude. I feel like that'd be kind of hot, dude.
I want to see what he looked like in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
like if he was like a scene kid.
He must have had some hair somewhere.
He must have, dude. And like a piercing that he doesn't want to talk about.
Oh, yes, dude. Biggest shout out to Mousepad and chat. Hello. Thank you for letting me steal your husband. I appreciate it. So I thought a bit about like what I can ask you and how I can start a conversation with you. And usually with these sessions that I do, I don't like setting topics or specific topics aside because I feel like a flowing conversation of just back and forth or whatever. And obviously we are going to be constantly communicating with chat. If everybody wants to talk, if anybody has any questions, please shoot them. We might not answer them immediately, but we will get to them. You guys can see the chat is on screen over here somewhere. Anyway, I wanted to get to the point of you went full-time. I'm not going to say creator because I feel like you're much more than that. Personally, it was last year. Or was it this year? I'm not too sure.
Last year.
Yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I didn't really go into content creation, but more into the space around it and within it. I mean, I love creating content, but I want to try and create something that's a little bit more sustainable for everybody else. So I'm actually a qualified chartered accountant. And from there, I dived into dude.
Yo,
2015, long time.
Bomb's a big dick, dude. Chartered accountants are fucking rare. Holy, yo, do you want to do my taxes? I'm joking. That's below your pay grade. That's below your pay grade.
No, dude, that's honestly as interesting as the conversation ever was. So like you go to Brian, everybody's telling these cool stories, and you're like, yeah. So like I did these taxes, and it was pretty sick. Like, no. Like it's such a boring conversation, and it killed my soul, dude. So I still like dabble in it. So I dabble in it and do a little bit of consulting and stuff that side. But as soon as I did my articles, I was like, I've got an idea for an app. We're sitting like in an audit room where fucking nothing happens anyways. And at that time, Flappy Bird was making $50,000 a day, and we're like, it's a ridiculous concept. So we all started saying ridiculous things, and then one idea I blurted out, nobody laughed. They're like, it's actually pretty good. Like, write that shit down. So like, I came into touch with investors, came in touch with developers, and basically I didn't know enough. So I was like, let me build apps for other people. So we did that for a couple of years. We built our own app, and then I went back into auditing for a little bit. We were supposed to land like a big investment deal going into our app in June of 2020. But of course, lockdown and everything happened. So we were supposed to fly out to Germany and sign all these things. That didn't happen. This firm invests $500 million a year in projects. And their last 6 years of profits and investments just went through the ground because of all of the stuff happening around the world. So, they got pulled straight through the earth. They don't actually exist anymore. I think there's suits and stuff. So we just separate ourselves.
Maybe it's maybe in a way it's good because imagine it went through and then COVID just kept on going, which it did, and shit fell and. That could have maybe been worse.
Yeah, you never know. But being in that entrepreneurial kind of space for quite a while, I was like, I want to do more interesting things. Like I always say, I want to do cool shit. And I started streaming in 2017, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I talk about it all the time. Like my average viewership was 1.23 for 17 months. So it took me 18. In the 18th month, I made affiliate. But I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like just going live on PlayStation, sometimes streaming to YouTube, sometimes to Twitch, sometimes to Dailymotion. Didn't really know what was going on. And then a couple of guys came across the stream. They're like, dude, like at least put up a profile picture. And I'm like, where'd you do that? And they're like, on the website. So that was the first time I went to Twitch. And like I set everything up to PlayStation. And then I started really getting in love with that whole thing. I was like, I want to explore this a little bit more. So I carried on streaming and everything, just messing around. And then I was like, then the CA mindset came along, and it was like, listen, there's a bunch of really, really good creators here, and creators offer something really, really beautiful. They have conversations with their audience. It's not like other social medias where like you post something on Instagram and it's a one-way conversation. Sometimes you respond to comments, sometimes you don't, but it's a hard place to have a conversation. Definitely. So here on Twitch, it's so easy to build a brand into a conversation really, really organically and have a back and forth conversation. It's a very warm market feel between a streamer and the chat. So I was like, it's a sleeping giant, you know? So I started speaking to a couple of firms and a couple of creative agencies, trying to get their thoughts on things and understanding, you know, what do they think of this whole side? Do they understand it? Are we too far ahead and they don't understand it yet and they're trying to catch up? And that was basically the point, was that we are very far into this as creators, but brands and stuff don't understand it yet. So I was like, okay, well, what if I speak to more brands and tell them what they're missing? Like that might be a cool thing. So I started speaking to brands and they're like, okay, cool, show us some portfolios. So I started reaching out to a couple of creators and I was like, send me your rate cards, send me your media kit. And they're like, fuck is that? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I was like, okay, maybe streamers and creators need to be a little bit more professional. So I was like, maybe I can start coaching people in that space. And the more that I just jumped between those, the bigger the area became. It's like, there's actually so much to do here. There's so much opportunity for absolutely everybody. And that's the space that I find myself in now. I've got like a bunch of projects that I really want to get underway, but everything's structured around giving some sort of financial stability to content creators while giving them creative freedom, and they still can go and do all of their stuff that they want to do. But what it does in essence is, if you want to go and apply for finance for a car, you've got a pay slip.
Yeah.
And you can go and do that, because I don't know if you've ever tried to take out finance as a self-employed person, but they want all of your income, like all of your bank statements. They want to know who your great-grandfather was, what his favorite pet was.
What your goldfish's name is, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even have a goldfish, and that's bad. They like knock you down.
So I'm lucky that I haven't gotten to that point yet, because I've been full-time for a whole year. But that is actually, to me, the fact that you went from a CA to where you find yourself now, I think that is quite a turnaround story. Like, I feel like that could be like a second Titanic, where this guy that is doing like something that is, I mean, you have to be a pretty smart lad to be able to be a CA. Like I know some people who are CAs, and I talk to those people and they're like, it can get quite hectic. And the fact that you literally made a full 180 into this scene. But what I can see is, you already mentioned it, your correlation of like using your brain, I would say, as the way you would as a CA to solve certain problems. And like you said, the first thing is like, maybe streamers should be a bit more professional. So that to me is that's I never knew that. I honestly thought you were just like some guy with like a woodworking business in the background or something.
I wish, dude.
Something like that.
So sick.
That would be the best, dude. I see you have a lot of fans in chat that are praising for how amazing you are. So I want to thank everyone once again.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, there she is, dude. There she is. She said thank you for giving me a break when I said thank you for letting me. So I don't know. I think she's pretty happy that you're here right now, dude. So big thank you to everyone in chat who is shooting in, for all the follows and the subs. I do see it. Thank you very much. So now you made it full circle. You're from CA to Big Dick ZA man. I mean, if there's controversy, I always win. Okay, so I'm one of those people that I speak my mind. I always have. I'm pretty much waiting to be cancelled at this point. But whenever there's controversy, you bet your sweet ass you go into those replies and there's going to be someone that adds you. If it's like some kid saying something fucked up, or some guy or some chick doing something weird, you always hold people accountable. And I respect you for that. I will tell you this, and I say this with, I won't say pride, but I say it with honesty, I could never do that. I could never do that because I am one of those people who are scared of the repercussions. And obviously you've spoken about this quite a bit. You've like said, like, why is no one talking about this, right? And I understand where you're coming from, but from my side, or from my view, I don't want that. I don't want that drama on my
Sure.
timeline, because I'm someone who, if you follow me or if you know me, you'll know that I'm someone who I'm pretty much, I'm always live. I'm always doing something, whether I'm live or whether I'm editing or posting something. I'm always around, and I feel like if I had to involve my life into all the drama that we have in our scene, which is basically a fucking Big Brother show on its own, I'm not gonna have enough time for all these. So what I want to, it's not really a question. It's just, when did you decide? I don't know if it's a really decision or if it was a moral decision or if it was just a moment where you're like, I'm just not going to stand for these things anymore.
Yeah, I think
What happened?
I think not being a full-time content.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to mention something in chat. Famous just said, softy, Henrico is a softy, he can't deal with the drama. And I just want to say, he is 100% right.
So, like, firstly, I hate conflict, dude. I absolutely hate conflict. I always, whenever I write something and conflict starts happening, I always turn back and I go like, man, maybe I should just delete my stuff, because this is like, I hate it. I hate the negativity that it brings around. But I'm like, maybe somebody catches a wake up and goes, oh, holy shit, maybe what I did say was wrong. So the first, let me go back to when things first started. So I was playing a Rocket League game, came up against these guys, and we're just playing, and then all of a sudden he dropped some racism, heavy racism, K-bombs everywhere.
Classic ZA?
Like, I was like, this is completely unacceptable. Saw that this guy was a streamer. I was like, perfect, let me approach this guy. So I sent him DMs, didn't respond. I was like, I always give somebody like the like, I don't know, I'm maybe too polite by sending a message to him first and saying, hey man, what you said here is completely unacceptable, and like, I want to understand your mindset. What is, everything okay? Kind of, because I believe like nobody's just genuinely angry all the time like it. So I don't know. Didn't respond, carried on, and I was like, perfect. I just dropped it on Twitter. Then I got a message from a couple of guys that had always been watching the stream, and they were like, listen, dude, I head up a team of IT professionals at a big communications company, and we would love to help. So we've already pulled this guy's profile. We know all of his details. We've contacted legal, and we can actually pursue this a little bit further. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like, let's see where this goes. So we started talking, and we sat down, and it can go a lot further. So we've actually got now a full IT team and a full legal team that's on board. We work with South African Human Rights Commission, and things get fast-tracked. We've got 100% prosecution rate as well. So it's really, really good. So we're actually now at the point where we've built an AI that we are teaching about like what is prosecutable and what's not. So we've got like an online ticketing system so people can log things, and then we kind of like go, yes, this is prosecutable. No, this isn't prosecutable yet, but flag that person and monitor their online behavior. Wow. And maybe we can still build a case for that person. So there's a lot of people, like, they might even be watching that have things that can turn legal. So it's not me going like, hey, I'm a big dick person, like I'm going to go and chase after everybody. But the amount of sexual abuse, racism, homophobia, transphobia, all of the stuff that's floating around on the internet is unacceptable, because it's just, we don't have a safe space for everybody to create content, and our best content creators are sitting within those spaces. So we've helped with massive cases as well. We've helped with some human trafficking. We've helped with recovering units that were stolen in the Durban riots, when all that stuff in the Durban riots were stolen. All of those are smart devices, so they're trackable. So we've gone from 2 teams. One was a bit of a rogue team, and now we've gone to like a full-on professional team. Everything, so we sit down, everything goes, oh dude, it's amazing. It's really, really nice. Really sick. So, yeah, it's been really cool. We've kept really undercover. This is really the first time I'm speaking about it quite openly and to like a bigger audience, but there's like a lot of I don't know, we try and keep it as undercover as possible, because it's not something that any of us are doing to go, hey, look at me, like I'm doing good things. It's just a good opportunity that came about, and we were able to spearhead something, and now it works really, really well, and to the point where I can almost like step away and go, okay, cool, this thing's running by itself now. So that's people insane. Still approach me, but I can direct them through to the website and go log it here, you know.
Yeah, so people can take a look at it. Damn, that's actually, I mean,
it's cool.
That's actually pretty sick. I mean, we are in a current era of the internet. I feel like where, I just said, it's not a safe space for everyone, and the world is full of snowflakes. Like that is the thing. But we also have to accept the fact that the internet is evolving. People have the way they feel, and the people have the way that other people feel, and the internet is technically free speech. So people say shit they shouldn't, but it's not also always about just. It's not always about like what are the rules and the laws. It's also about just being a decent fucking human being. Like hello, like,
That's it, dude.
You don't always have to be a poos. Like you don't have to. No. You don't have to be that. Just a quick little one. Dad, he's a creator just like me. He actually is one of our, I would say, community leaders, and he made his own department essentially of people from the community. Just a big little shout out to my dad. He's a cop, so the moment he hears about any department, he's like, "Where is he? I will help him." My dad is he's full cop mode.
That's amazing. I love it.
That's pretty fucking interesting.
To say what you're saying, yeah. To like play to your point as well. Like, there's a difference between people who say stuff and maybe they're saying it to like make a joke about it. Like those people, I'll always reach out as much as I can, unless it's like targeted. Aggressive.
Yeah.
We've had like racial threats where people are going and throwing bricks through people's windows and stuff. Like the things get really, really hectic, and it's all over stupid.
South Africans are so ridiculous. Dude. South Africans are fucking weird, dude. We are a crazy bunch,
dude. Crazy, but like it's not the guys that are maybe saying stuff by accident. It's the guys that continuously do it. So everything turns into monitored behavior. So somebody says something, we go cool. Like the little red bulb goes up and we go, okay, watch this person because maybe it evolves into something else, you know.
Something bigger.
But I'll try and do the decent thing of reaching out to somebody and being like, dude, this is unacceptable. Like you got to be careful what you're doing. And on Twitter it goes around a lot. Like these conversations just circle and I'm like, dude, just be careful. Like I don't want to be like the guy like you do you know who you're speaking to? Like I'm not that at all. I'm just like, dude, back away from this conversation, say sorry, be an adult, and just learn your fucking lesson, dude. Like
sometimes take your man.
It's a scary place, man. Yeah, that's it. Just like be like, okay, cool, sorry, man. I said something, I was hot-headed, but I've learned my lesson. I'm really sorry. Like it's really easy to do something like that, but instead they do that in court. They sit there crying and going, it was just a joke.
And then there's no mommy and daddy. No, mommy and daddy. Like, I have to point out what Manik said. Manik just said, what is said on the web stays on the web, and that is the most real thing out there. And I don't think people always realize that. Like, yeah, you might think that your 50 Twitter followers will forget. There's someone that's not going to forget. Someone screenshots it.
That's it. And web pages also, there's cache-in that happens. And we've also got like a server that caches large portions of the internet. And that means that even if you delete something, it's there. So like that stuff's all evidence. And it like piles up. That stuff can be quite hectic. Like there's a recent case where somebody was abusing one of the girls in the community, and they posted a whole bunch of stuff and they deleted a whole bunch of stuff. All of that stuff is there. It's all
you guys have it,
sexual abuse, and that kind of stuff is 4 years in prison, like straight up.
Yeah, people don't always realize that, dude.
No, dude. There's new acts that came out recently, 2-3 years ago. Everything's sharpened up a lot, and it's almost like I just want to tell people, just be careful, man. Like, be a good human. That's what you were saying.
Exactly.
Like, just be a decent human.
Don't
it's
be
not
a
hard.
puss.
Like,
just don't be a puss. Be lacquer. It's maybe
There's
crass, but
it's
the way.
If you're fine.
Exactly. Yeah. If like as you say, things can be said as jokes. Sometimes jokes happen. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm perfect. When I'm talking to my friends that are briar something, maybe I say something a little bit over the fucking line, and maybe someone will correct me or we'll laugh and we'll move fucking on. But if it's something that happens the entire time, if it's something that I am actively engaging with or I'm encouraging, especially stuff like fucking sexual abuse or racism and shit, like bruh, I am so fucking sick and tired of the whole racism thing with regards to like, it's always the number one thing that gets brought up, but then people get mad at why is racism being brought into this, but then you're like, hello, what the fuck happened? How did we get here? Because of racism that happened years ago. Like, we just have to accept the fact that it fucking happened, and now we have to deal the cards that we were, like, the hand that we were dealt. We have to work with it.
And it's embedded, right, dude? Like, it's a simple example I always give is like, people always stop to like help an old white lady carry her groceries, and I'm like, you don't do that for everybody. I'm like, why is that like but that's something that's in our head. That's something that's like just evolved over time and time. And it's those little things that we just need to take more notice of. And the racism thing, that's 99% of the cases that we deal with. And those things move through the system so quickly. There's no wait in a year like other cases.
It's a fast thing,
like these things are fast. And
why is it always the Afrikaans COD guys though? Why is it always the Afrikaans Call of Duty guys? Like, come on, boys, let's just play some Warzone. Let's get some nukes. Leave the bad words at home, bro. You don't have to say these things. Like, he's just
it exposes people, right? It's like the true people always come out when they're angry.
Yes, or drunk.
If there were, if there was proxy chat in FIFA, we'd definitely hear a lot more as well.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't think of that. Damn.
I always say you don't know a person until you play FIFA against them. Dude.
Really?
We've had some heated. Dude, people get angry.
I've never actually played FIFA. I used to play Rugby 08 back in the day.
What a game!
In the Corsair, so the hostel, my friend had like this Intel Celeron laptop, dude. I'm pretty sure we didn't get 30 FPS in that game, but we all would crouch around this little 13-inch laptop. You'd have it was like this cheap TV remote controller that he had like a USB extension into whatever the fuck that port was, and we plugged it in there, and one would be on the keyboard, one would be on the controller, dude, and we would have hours and hours of fun. But your homies get mad, dude. You get like a quick little.
That was a game, man.
That was a very, very good game, and you can't buy it anymore. You can only illegally. I'm gonna say you could only illegally download it. That's literally the only way, unless you still have an OG disc. You can't find any on the internet, and if you do find them, they're expensive as fuck.
That's crazy. I remember, like when we go back and talk about these games, it's really going to expose age. But Jonah Lamu Rugby was one of the best games.
That was PlayStation 1, right?
Ever. It was amazing, dude. Yes, PlayStation 1.
What was the cricket? Brian Lara, I think. Yeah, it was Brian Lara cricket,
Brian
I think.
Lara as well. Yeah, I still remember the cheats for Brian Lara. There's like Superman and everything. Even if you blocked the ball, it would just go for a 6. Dude, I remember those. You could play with like a big head or an oversized bat. Oh, dude,
those are the days, man. When game cheats were literally just entering a code so you can get like a cool gun, but it was offline. And now cheats are like these downloaded all little boxes you buy, and it's like, oh, hacker man, dude.
Dude, it's crazy. I remember because my grandparents, they stayed in the UK, and my mom went over and she came back, and then they'd always send this massive box full of presents. And in there, one of my most prized possessions was a little book full of cheats. You could literally go to CNA and buy like a book, and
cheat books.
It had A to Z of different games. And they
you
all
remember
had
Cheat Book Database?
Yes, dude.
The little app you get downloaded every year, dude. Like every year, like February, new release, you're like, oh, dude, there's going to be new cheats. And then you have like this one friend that spread a rumor like, yo, dude, there's a new cheat coming out in the new version for like GTA Vice City where your cars are all filled with NOS. And then we all wait for that update. And there's no cheat. But he said it was going to be there.
Bastard.
That motherfucker.
We all had it, dude. We all had that guy.
We all had that one
cheat
friend.
Dealer.
Out of pure interest, does anybody in chat know Rugby 08 and Brian Lara? I see Manic he's already said he also played it. All those OG PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games. Because I started on TV games. I don't know what it was. If it was a Nintendo or Sega or whatever. I just remember my dad took me to Lure stores and it was 199 Rand for this thing. And my dad said, "Jy past it fucking up." That's all he told me because I can't fucking break it because it was that. And it had like Super Mario on it, or I had like one of those little chips you put in. There's like 800 games on it. You just never run out of games ever. That's how I started in playing games. So my first ever computer game was GTA Vice City. That's the first ever game I played on computer ever.
Dude, youngster, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm 27, bro.
Dude, I got into gaming because my parents were gamers. Like they used the excuse of having a child to buy like a Sega 16-bit, and then they said it was for me, but they'd spend all the time on it. So every single console that came out, they would like save up money all the time. Like we never came from like a wealthy house, but we always had like a console, which was great, dude.
That's sick.
We used to sit and play like Wonder Boy and all of that stuff. I still remember like the original like Michael Jackson game, which was you look back on it now and it's flipping sketchy.
It's so dumb.
It's Michael Jackson running, like walking around with all these baddies trying to rescue children. Like, how did we not?
How do we not notice? I don't know if my dad is still in chat, but I'll tell you this real quick. So my mom and my dad divorced when I was very, very young. So obviously every second weekend I go to my dad or whatever. So my dad comes and picks me up the one day after school, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna have some people over tonight, we're gonna play some games. Now me, being fucking 6, 7 years old, I hear games and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna play fucking Super Mario. Bro, I'm so amped, I'm so excited. We're gonna be playing Super Mario all night, and you know that's all he tells me. Like, there's no more context to the conversation. So I get home and I'm like, I clean my controllers and everything. And my dad asked me, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just cleaning. And he didn't ask much about it. And the night starts and there's like people arriving, you know, the fire's on, the brandy is flowing, everything. And now I'm like, but why the fuck are we not playing games? Why are we not playing games? I don't understand, Dad. You told me you're gonna play games. Meanwhile, back at the fucking ranch, the homies are outside playing drinking Jenga, strip poker, and like blackjack and shit. Here I am. I'm 6 years old. I'm excited to destroy some people in Super Mario, and they're outside drinking and playing Jenga. How could they do this to me, man?
Dude.
I can
just imagine you walking around and the cords just dragging on the floor, dude. That little sad walk.
I was so mad, but obviously now as an adult, I'm like, okay, I like those games a little bit more sometimes. Sometimes you need a little bit of drinking Jenga and some poker.
Yeah, there's some good games out.
Those are the good old days, man. Oh,
we had like a really good balance. Like I don't remember having rules around gaming, because I know a lot of kids had rules around gaming, like you could only play when your homework's finished and on weekends. But I don't know, my grade 3 teacher sent me to go get tested for ADD, but I came back not having it, so I just kind of got bored. So they just made me read books and stuff when I finished my work. But I didn't ever do work like really well. I wasn't a bad academic or anything. Like, I'd do well, but I'd just breeze through work so that I could have fun. So I always finished my homework. And I think the reason why was because maybe I can't remember that far back and old, but maybe I could only play games after I finished my homework. And this is maybe something I need to speak to my therapist. This is one of those glass breaking moments. Maybe that's why I work so quickly. Maybe it was gaming.
You want to go play some games?
Gaming made me study quick.
Yeah. Want to get into there first? Rift Slayer, this is the man, the myth, the legend, Bumfluffski. Welcome to the stream. I wanted to tell you.
Talking about Leisure Suite Larry, dude. Oh my word! Did you know they're still bringing out Leisure Suite Larry game?
But he's still allowed to you probably can't play it on Twitch, right? There was also a game called Boner Town. I don't know if you ever played Boner Town, dude.
I've played. What's the one with the penises, dude?
Isn't that Boner Town?
What's that game called? No, it's called something else, dude. It was the first game I ever streamed on Twitch from a laptop. And I don't, my channel was definitely not big enough for anybody to catch on. It's still there in my Steam.
If you want a list of good porn games, send me a DM. There you go.
Genital Jousting, and there it is.
Oh my god, you can't stream that anymore. Bro, I'm pretty sure you can't stream that anymore.
I'm pretty sure you could never stream.
you're like, I'm risking it, dude. I'm risking it. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Dude, running OBS just destroys your resources. So it probably looked like a PowerPoint presentation about bitch.
Especially on a laptop, dude. Especially on a fucking laptop.
Terrible.
I actually, so my full intro into gaming, my mom's brother, my uncle, he used to manage the Spur in Strand. So in Strand, there's always this big Spur right by the beach, and Spur did this thing with Smarties. I don't know if you remember this. A lot of people do. A lot of people don't. You buy Smarties, fill out the box, and you go take it to a Spur, and you eat an ice cream, and you can enter your Smarties. So my mom knew that I wanted to play it. Unfortunately, back then they weren't so far off in life yet. We weren't poor. We were never poor. We never had any issues. I grew up very, very comfortable. I mean, fucking look at me. You're on the size of a building. We never grew up poor or anything, but there wasn't money for stuff like a PlayStation or whatever. And this is just when the small, slimline PlayStation 1 came out. And now Spur had this big thing. So my mom went and she bought a box of 24-pack Smarties. So she took the Smarties, we put it all in the glass jug, and then we filled it each out and we took it to my uncle at the Spur because we're entering. And I never thought anything of it. And 3 months later, we get an actual post office delivery. First time I've ever seen an actual postman. And he has this box, and he's like, "This is for Antoinette," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I call my mom, and she gets it, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?" I have no idea. So my uncle never told us. So I actually won the PlayStation 1, and that is how I completely went into games. Well, I got fucking addicted. Like, my parents took it away. But you know the worst part about that day was the fact that you get the PlayStation 1 and nothing else. So I had no games. I lived in Langebonweg. I don't know if you know where Langebonweg is. That is a military base in the West Coast, okay? The West Coast back in 2001 was not, there was nothing. There was nothing. Yeah. So the only way I could get a game is if my mom went to Cape Town. So I had to wait like another 3 weeks for my mom to go to Cape Town. And she bought me, I remember it was Driver 2. Was the first game she bought. What a game. What a good decision.
It was the first game you could get out of a car, right? So
yes.
You could like run around.
What a good decision she made, though. Dude. She literally just picked that one for me because she asked what I wanted and I couldn't decide. I just like, Mom, whatever you think. So I thought she was going to bring me like Spyro the Dragon or something, right? And she brought me Driver 2, dude. Best game ever. PlayStation 1, started playing. I went to go get it chipped when you get like the fake thing. I remember I had to save all my money because it was 65 Rand to chip it. 65 Rand and then you get a free game. And I had to save like 2 months because my mom gave me like 25 Rand back in the day.
Just sounds so old talking about things.
It
like
does.
65 Rand is fucking expensive.
It's a lot of money, dude. Holy shit. And we went to go chip it, and then I bought myself Digimon and Beyblade, I think, or something like that I got with it. And that's how I got into it. And then I got my first PC, and then it just was downhill since then. It was so bad at the point, or not bad at the point, when I was, how can I say, when I, you said earlier about like, you weren't a bad learner or anything, right? You just wanted to play games. I feel like if I just paid a little bit more attention in high school, I feel like my life would have been completely different. From grade 10 to grade 12, I do not remember ever doing homework, ever really studying. I just played WoW, dude. I literally played World of Warcraft from morning till fucking night. And I would sleep in class. The only class I listened in was math because I understood it. And English, because our English teacher was hot. That's the only classes I ever paid attention in. That I can distinctly remember stuff. Or stuff that I can still remember to this day. And I mean, I passed matric and I passed everything, obviously. But I feel like if I put a lot more effort into like my history and IT and all that, I feel like I could have been in a completely different part of my life at this point. But games got me, so I'm gonna keep on this road for now. Just for now.
Yeah. But you're killing it, dude. Most subscribed Twitch stream in SA. I don't even know who's second, but I know that there's a big gap, dude.
It's probably Rachel. I would say if we're talking people in South Africa, it's probably Ray because I saw her.
She's killing it as well, dude.
I peaked at 3,800, I think. And then she was I think she has way more than me now because obviously my sub, I mean, what goes up must come down. But I was definitely
wallets up.
There we go. Where the wallet's chat. Does anybody want to gift a sub real quick? Can we show Bum how it's done? It's January. Stop worrying about yourself. Let's worry about me, chat. I need subs.
Come on, guys.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure Ray is still up there. I would fucking love to have her on this, but she doesn't know me. I'm weird with like asking people. I'm scared, dude. I want to have at least some form of interaction with you first. So like maybe if I one day run into her, like in a Twitter conversation or in a stream, then I'll be like, yo, listen. So I really want to invite you. I'm very, I don't want to, yeah. I'm it's actually dumb. Like I should just ask people. Like if they say no, they say no.
Dude, have you ever met Ray?
No, I have not. No, so she doesn't even know I exist.
Dude, she took me by complete surprise, dude. So I met her. I did a panel down at Africa Games Week, beginning of last year. And,
dude, can we just stop there for a second?
Yeah.
And I say this with love. It's no hate towards you. It's the way that I see the scene. I see the scene as high school. You have the cool kids. This is you. Then you have the people that are they're just doing their thing. And you have the outcasts. There's me. I want to be with the cool people because I also want to get invited to like Africa Games Week. And I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way at all. I've said this on stream so many times. I want to be there, dude. I want to go to Africa Games Week. So I remember when that event happened. And she knows this. I have the biggest crush on Chloe. I've always had the biggest crush. And she was like coming to Cape Town. She's like, well, if you're going to be around, let's go do something. And I was still I was 100 kgs heavier back then. So I was like, I'm not going to go out at all. There's no way it's going to fucking happen. But I remember you guys were all fucking posting, and it looked so nice, dude. And that's coming from someone who fucking hates. I hate going outside now, a lot less because I've worked on myself. But yeah,
good,
dude, don't tell your wife, dude. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted your story. I just wanted to put that out, dude. I want to be at more events. So if any of you are listening who organize events, please, I will literally kiss you on the forehead. Just DM me. Like, you don't have to pay me a lot, bro. You don't even have to pay me sometimes. Let's just talk. Let's just, please. Anyway, you were at Africa Games Week.
I'm not saying that I was trying to get you up on stage at StreamerCon as much as possible, but
we did. It was vibes. It was fun. I loved it. It was so cool. And I almost won, and then ESCOM fucked me. I was gonna win. I was gonna win Rusty Pie Lover's thing, right? I literally won every single race by like 30 seconds. I was sitting there talking.
By a lot. Yeah.
And then the last race, I can see the finish line, dude. It looked like the ending scene of a Marvel movie. The light was shining, dude. There was a chick in fucking balloons and champagne and the titties laying out. Dude. Everything was there. And then ESCOM was like,
for you, it was strange, dude.
ESCOM said,
nope. Wasn't
nope.
there for anybody else.
ESCOM said, nope. And then what does Rusty do? He makes us do a dance-off. Now, do you think this Oompa Loompa looking fucking Oros man is going to dance in front of like 70 people? So I was just like, I love Daddy Cool. He's a fucking great guy. I went into IFAM, was like, dude, just take the prize, please. And he's like, no, let's dance. I'm like, let's just take it, bro. And then he started dancing and I just went like, and I was like, I don't care. I'm done.
Dude, you were killing it. No, look, the event space, it has, yeah. So I'll tell you about how I got into Africa Games Week. I got recommended by Grant Hine. So he was like, here's a couple of people, you need to get them up. And that's how it works, dude. It's recommendations because, and this goes with brands, it goes with everything.
Oh, yeah.
If you think of how much content creators outnumber brands, especially the ones that we're looking at, like the peripheral brands and all that, there's a lot. There's no brand in the world that's sitting there and going, okay, cool, let me go find a content creator, and they click a button and then they just find you. Like, it's impossible. So recommendations are absolutely everything. And I'll get into the whole sponsorship thing because that's a really cool conversation. It's like the biggest thing that I do content creator coaching, and it's one of the biggest things that we speak about. And I think that everybody's perceptions are so twisted when it comes to
so skewed. And I would love to be part of the conversation. I mean, I've been with Logitech for 2 years and a bit now. Oh, it's almost been more than 2 years. And I've been a partner now for a year and a bit. And it's the way the messages I've gotten from people, the conversations I've had with people, and their understanding of sponsorships / partnerships are mind-boggling. How they got to those perceptions. It is horrible. Yeah. It is horrible.
It's very far off. Yeah, but okay. Let me do this Africa Games Week, and then we come back to this.
I keep interrupting.
So Africa Games. No. This is how the conversation goes, right? Africa Games Week. I think it was a Saturday. We're chilling there, and all of a sudden, you just see like people just partying the way, and there comes Rachel walking down the middle, and I'm like, okay. Here comes Ray. Like, this is gonna let me get up and move. Like, she sat down. We were busy having lunch, so I went and I got my food, and I just left the girls. It was like Tickle was sitting there, Chloe was sitting there, and I was like, let me just get food. And then I came back, and then no seats. And then she kind of saw me, and she's like, dude, pull up a seat. And I was like, okay. And I like sat down, and I was like,
it's like a scene from Mean Girls, dude. Yeah. They're setting me up for something.
Yeah, so like I sat down there, dude, and I've never come across somebody that's so engaged in a conversation. Like I started speaking to her, and didn't matter what was happening around, she was engaged the entire time. I was just like, it changed my perception of her 100%, because normally you look at somebody that's pretty in a model like that, and you go, this person's gonna maybe just be full of herself and take photos and stuff the whole time. Completely not. One of the sweetest people that I've ever met, and I was just like, you know, what you see is not what you get with her. I think, super, super sweet. If you want to go and have a conversation with her, she'll be 100% engaged and 100% interested in what you're talking about. There's not many people like that on the scene, I guarantee you.
That's fucking
so many
awesome.
People that sit and have a conversation.
I really want to talk to her.
Interested in what you say. She's super nice, dude. You just go up to her, honestly.
I really want to get on the. All right, I'm gonna use my friendship with Bum. Dude. I'm gonna use my friendship with Bum to slide into those DMs somehow. I don't know how, but we'll find a way.
Dude,
we'll talk about it all.
This is the nicest thing about the scene, right? Because at Comic-Con the first day, I got messages being like, "Oh, I saw you, but I was too scared to come up and talk to you." And I was just like,
I also got one or two of those.
it's a strange thing, right? Because everybody shits, right? Like everybody has a
Everybody
poo,
has
so
the-
like nobody's better than anybody else.
Everybody's
like
depressed in their own way.
yeah, that's it. Like we're all the same. Like that's 100%. There's this is coming back to when you're talking about like the cool club thing, and the cool club thing is it's I hear it a lot, and the thing is it's just people that put themselves out there, because once you put yourself out there, you realize that everybody else is just super normal. Like I've gone the first time. One of my favorite people in South Africa is Glenn Casella from Nibble. Like love the guy, absolutely love the guy. He approached me at Africa Games Week, and I was completely caught off guard because he ran up and just pinched my ass. And I turned around, I was like, "What's going on?" And then he goes and he gave me one of the best hugs of my life. And I was just like, for the longest time, this is the one guy that I've always wanted to just hug, dude. I'm like, he just looks like such a nice person.
That's me with Biggs, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was. it's so nice to like have a conversation with somebody and then realize that they're normal.
They're just a normal human being.
Dude, everybody, absolutely everybody. Archangel, Amble, Jess, same thing, dude. Like,
oh yeah, I have to say this, and I have to admit this. I do want to, Famous, ask you a question. He says he's never interacted with you, but he's had a question since 2018. So Famous, please go ahead and ask it.
Yeah, please.
I will say this, and I am willing to stand my man. But I've always been on the side of the internet where people always a bit frowned at like Grant Hines and things that he's done. And in the end, everyone is human. Everyone says things, does things that people might not always agree with. But I got invited to the 80K Girl Gamer Fest last year, right after I actually announced full time, and I was like, hell yes, this is my first fucking event. And I met both Grant and Jess, and what fucking amazing humans, dude. Nicest people. So I have to say, I was more nervous talking to Grant than to Jess, and I think that's because wait, it is Jess, right?
Yes, it is.
It is Jess. Let's make sure. I was more nervous speaking to Grant than her because I've seen her on TikTok everywhere, and she just looks like the chillest dude. So when I met him, I walked up to him and introduced myself. We had like a quick little 50-minute conversation, but it felt so like, it just felt normal. I was like, hey, this is just a guy that's doing exactly what I'm doing. He's just up there, and I'm trying to get there, and I'm gonna work my way there, right? And I always kind of kicked myself, like, what if I put an effort earlier to like maybe start a conversation with them, or start a relationship with them, with regards to like where could we have collabed, you know, like stuff like that. And Sam and Amble, like when I spoke to her as well, she was obviously, the fact that she is like 1 meter tall threw me off guard because I'm 191. So
yeah,
she's quite a difference in there. So when I saw her, I was like, I actually complimented her on like how funny I thought her TikToks was, and she was like, oh, it's so nice. She hugged me. I was very, very like, I was taken away from it because I didn't expect that. Because that's the perception that I get from people on the internet. I'm not saying I get it from her. From people on the internet overall, like, don't fucking talk to me because I don't know you. Like, that's the perception but I think it's not just me. And it's not just Jess. I think it's anyone. If you see people 100%. Interacting on Twitter, you kind of feel like, these people don't have the time for me. Like, I should just shut the fuck up and stay in my lane, right? And I think that's where the perception of the whole cool club, the cool club and all that I think that perception happens from everyone, or can happen to everyone. And then sometimes you just have to realize that people are just humans.
Yeah, I think like exactly what you're saying is like you need to. No, I know exactly what he's talking about.
I love how he stated it. Was constantly view-botted and seemed like he was a puss at first, but compared to now, he seems like a great dude. What happened?
Dude, can I actually tell you what's a really cool, like about exactly that incident and how this actually saved my Twitch career? So, I was getting view-botted, and I don't know what the hell was going on. And then I think I don't remember if Famous was there. I don't remember who was there, but people came in and they mentioned view-botted. I was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No. Not doing this. I don't know what it was.
Famous has been very involved since like this. So it's possible.
Yeah. So like this, like I was some of the first time that I'd been on Twitch, especially like I think I was streaming music at that time. It was really flipping weird, dude. Like I was sitting and working and I had music going and I was like, oh, I'll just leave this on because maybe people will come and view my stream if there's cool music and then I'll get my affiliation. I don't even think I was affiliated. Yeah, RL Music Studios. Okay, so I was doing that, and then I think it was you guys. It must have been you guys then, if you remember it. They came along and you were like, "What the hell's going on with this view button?" And dude, I was like, I felt like I was being accused of something. I was like, "Fuck!" So I probably was a puss. And I have no idea, but I emailed Twitch, dude. So this is the coolest thing, right? It's like I emailed Twitch and I was like, somebody said that I'm getting view botted. I don't know what's happening. What must I do? And their advice is basically like do nothing. And I was like, no, but like what? And they're like, they'll get bored and move on. So years went on. Then I had this. So I've got this page on Facebook called Blog Hizzle. It was something that I started to like share things that I was enjoying, like almost like the sense of the internet sort of thing. And a couple of posts went extremely viral and it went to like 36,000 followers. So I was like, oh, Twitch Prime, you can make money off of people's Twitch Prime. So I put posts up there and I'd be like, if you guys, so it went viral and most of the people are in America. So I was like, let me see what happens. So I was like, oh, push Twitch Prime. First day, like I push it out, I get like 40 subs. I was like, that's sick.
Holy shit.
Dude, it was crazy. So then I like thought nothing of it. And then the next month I was like, let me put it up again. Then it went up to like 160 subs. I was like, this is fucking cool.
And this is no OG
Next
Twitch,
month,
like $2.50 a sub.
Dude, it was a lot. Yeah. So then I went again and it was like 400 subs. And then I get this email from Twitch going, no, dude, you get on average about like 3 to 4 people. So these are fraudulent. I'm like, how do you think I'm setting up all these accounts and like paying $3 for $2.50? Because that's really stupid. And like this guy, like I wish I could pull up the emails because it was just so accusatory and dude, it's so aggressive. And then he just stopped replying. Then I didn't get payouts. I didn't get payouts.
I wanted to ask you about that.
So I kept on like emailing them, nothing, dude. I emailed them every single day. Wouldn't get anything back. Like I was on a blocked sender list. I tagged them on Twitter and I just started. And 17 months later, I'm like, oh wait, let me just search through Twitch support in my emails and see what's there. I come back to this view bot in email. I'm like, let me just send in a message and see what happens. Send a message, reopens the ticket. This person speaks to me. And I was like, dude, before you go anywhere, like, listen, I've been blocked. I'm not getting any of my payouts for 17 months. Dude, I get an email back from them going, let me look into it. We'll see what happens. Then they tell me, no, I was on a block senders list and there was a mistake. Sorry. They're like, apologies for the inconvenience. 17 months. Then they paid me like out that. So whatever happened with the view botting thing, that actually saved my my Twitch career, because like I could go back to that and it could be included as like a bit of financial backing. So
because I mean, obviously, 17 months is a long time. You gotta, I'm not gonna say ad revenue because ad revenue is a joke, but like all the subs and like bits and stuff.
$3 a month goes far, dude.
Yes, bro. Holy shit.
No, dude, it was huge.
So for 17 months, you just never got a payout.
Nothing, dude. And I felt so bad because
did you get emails?
Nothing from them, dude. Nothing. No emails. They're just like, these are fraudulent. You're not getting that. And like, it was accusatory.
Insane.
Like, I'll send you like the whole Reddit thread, because they actually had like a Google Drive where I had all the emails and stuff in there. I was like, if anybody can fucking help me, if anybody can get in touch with like Twitch support, that'd be great, because
that is insane.
Dude, it was a long time.
I would fucking write if I had to lose like my Twitch pass, I'd be fucked. I'd be really fucked, because I mean, I cannot imagine 17 months. I cannot imagine that. That is so much time.
It was a long time. So I think like my payout after that was like $1,700 or something.
Damn, that's a lot of fucking money.
It was very decent. You know,
nice,
but I was going through that whole stage going, don't sub, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah, just donate rather.
Like, don't.
But people want to. But Twitch makes it so easy, and a lot of people don't always realize that. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're just a beggar. You just scam your viewers," which is obviously shady streamer.
True. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Wallets,
you know what I realized? Twitch makes it so easy for you as a creator. Okay, regardless of the fact that they take 50%. Look, I'm gonna be honest, dude. If they take 50%, they take 50%. I can't. There's nothing that my voice will do. I'm sorry. There's nothing that my voice will do. I'm not a big enough creator. Even if I get 1,000 people to back me, it's not enough people, because there's like 3.3 million streamers a month. Okay. What I see what Twitch is doing is Twitch is really making it very easy for you to motivate people to support you through their platform. Yes, Twitch is making bank on the back end. They're making bank. That's just gonna have to be it. But let's take a quick look at it. Hype trains. Boy, do I fucking love a hype train. Because what happens is you open a Twitch stream, and I've fallen victim to this almost fucking every single time. If I open a stream and it says 1 sub away, I don't care if I've never seen your stream, I've never interacted with you. I'm gonna gift that sub.
Oh yeah, you do it. Right?
I'm gonna gift that sub because the serotonin that streamer will be feeding is that's what gets me. That's what gets me. That gets me. Like, I love it when people are like, yo, hype. I don't know why, but I like that, dude. I like that. But then I look at it, maybe there's other viewers that I have that's the same, right? Or like when a hype train is like at level 3 and there's like 3% of like, yo, dude, sure do we get to a level 4 hype train, whatever.
Somebody's got to do it. And
exactly.
if they don't, I'm going to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. But then more people get involved. So they see that little animation, ooh, hype train. And when it's closed, there's like bits and stuff jumping around. Twitch makes it so easy. And now you have like under the channel, you have like a goals box that like it's just fucking there. Now you have the sub goal thing on the stream, which I do not have here now, but I usually have it. It'll say sub goal. You see that number constantly, and you might not think that you notice, but you do. So now you see like, oh, he only needs like 30 subs to the goal. Maybe I should just gift him. And then he has it, right? It's constantly there, and Twitch is so smart with it. And the same with bits. That bit button is always there in your chat. Right next to the emotes. Now, okay, who the fuck clicks the emote button these days anyway? You just type out the emotes. But like, it's right there, so you always see it. So Twitch is so smart in getting you to spend more money on their platform. And I'm the person. I feel like, why not work on that? Why not drive on that? You know, why not drive? Why not work on getting people to actively engage more? Like I have the wheel spins or whatever the hell. I have my leaderboard, and I like motivating people to be number 1 on the fucking leaderboard. Why the hell not, dude? That's your pride for, man. And a lot of people don't realize that, or they not realize, but they always like, how do you do it? And I'm a hype man. I'm a fucking hype man for not just for me, because I also really believe what you give out is what you get back. So I'll give you 2 scenarios. You will know this. When I was South Africa's #1 shady streamer, there was a lot of context missing there, obviously, and little did they know I gave back a fuckload, which is what I do, and I do it still to this day. Obviously, I bought my viewer monitor, I gave my mod stuff, I gave away a bunch of merch and stuff. So I believe that's because I'm gonna give back, right? And you know what's the best part? Once I mentioned that I'm going to give back, the donator donated again. He's actually in stream. Come on, there he is. He donated again. He was like, I'd like to hear that, dude. Here's some more. And then he donated more to give more, right? Which is fucking amazing. What you give is what you get is, and you give back, you will somehow, it'll make a return. And the second 100%. One I want to mention is, it was Cam's birthday, I think like 2 months ago or something. I don't know. Now, Cam is a hype man as fuck, but he can never be a hype man for himself. And that frustrates me about him, because he deserves all the fucking hype, because he has so much heart for this shit, right? So I see he goes live on his birthday stream. He's like, yo, it's my birthday stream. And then he starts playing games. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. So I hop into his Discord, bro. Boy. I hop into his Discord. And I'm like, all right, listen, chat, I'm going to start with 10 gifted subs. Let's get this man a hype train. Fast forward like 50 minutes, he's like up 360 subs and like a level 17 hype train. And for that entire 60 minutes, he didn't talk once. It was just me. And I take pride in that, because I got to do something for a homie to just hype him up, but also hype up Twitch chat to support other fucking people. Support the homies, man. Why can't we just be happy for each other? Why do we always have to fucking just bag? It's like, when someone does something good, what's the first thing that happens on Twitter? Like, yeah, but actually you did X, Y, and Z, and that's why this is working out. Like, shut your whole mouth, dude. Just let me have my moment, bro. I have no one else to share this with. I'm sharing it on Twitter. Hello?
Dude, it's like this is kind of where like the featured project came from. Like featuring somebody every single week was going, like, how easy is it to celebrate somebody? Like, turn around and be 100% like invested in somebody else's brand for just the tweets, like 280 characters. You put down what you love about that person, what they've done. You really boost them up, and that happens on a Monday for a reason, because you open your Twitter. You
need a Monday. Like, you need that boost. Shit, you're dude, a smart man, Bum.
This is sick.
You're a smart man. I hope you know this. You're a smart man.
It's. I don't know if it's smart, dude. I think it's just coming across people and problems and going like, well, let's fuck around, because that feature project, it's been for a long time, dude. I used to have like lurk links that I'd release, and I'd be lurking like 8 people's streams at a time on multi-view things. And then the Twitch purple thing, the purple page of death came up where you can't use third-party websites anymore. And I was like, well, let's just get all of us together. So my vision for that is like getting everybody in the community to focus, like even if it's just a lurk. Dude, imagine you go live and there's 5,000 people in your chat.
I've read that thread multiple times, brother.
dude.
I think
Like,
it is
it's
a
just-
fucking brilliant initiative of yours. I'm gonna ask something now. But
go for
remind me to ask you a question. But I think it's a brilliant initiative. I think look, not everyone is always gonna nominate someone, right? Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I've been nominated, like, I get nominated every week by Duck Knuckle. God bless that fucking man. I love him. Nominated, but it's not like I get a lot of interaction, but like people nominate me every week, right? But then I see names every week, which is it's not a bad thing. I see the same names every week, which means they have a really supporting community, right? And to me, it's like I don't feel like I need to be your featured streamer. Well, this sounds so cocky, but I want to make my point before it won't sound cocky. I don't need to be your featured streamer because I feel like I have my community that's behind me already, right? But I like the fact that you are taking, because you have bigger than average numbers for a South African creator who is in the starting phases. Not that you are, but like, let's say someone would start, right? They have maybe like 50 to 100 followers, where you have 5,000. And let's say that tweet gets pushed to all 5,000 of your followers, right? And 300 of them like that, which means it gets pushed into the Twitter algorithm, more people see it, right? Imagine all those people actually, like you said, imagine you go live to 5,000 viewers for a week straight. That is fucking, that could be life-changing. That could literally be life-changing. And
it is.
I want to compliment you on taking the initiative to do that, because no one else does it. No one else does it. I remember there was the ZA streams thing. I do see that Famous actually asked what happened to Ninja Clicks. And that was a thing. I think it maybe just wasn't driven
I think
properly,
it happened
maybe
before its time, dude.
Yeah, or even then. I mean, Zassi.
They did incredible stuff, man.
Yeah, the ZA streams was fucking huge. They got me affiliate. I never knew there was a ZA group until, I'm pretty sure it might have been Famous. Famous is like my number one hater and lover at the same time. Like, I despise him some days, but sometimes I can't get enough of him because
I'm surprised he doesn't have like a mod badge next to your stream, because those are normally our biggest supporter haters.
Oh no, he will never be a mod. There is no way. There's absolutely no way. I'm sorry. Famous actually started I think I played CS one day and they found me in the lobby or something, and then he followed me. And then he got the homies. He literally brought like homies to my stream, and well, his friends, which was the little streamer group back then. And then they were like, "Yo, join this Discord." Or it wasn't Discord; it was Twitter back then or something. It wasn't really a Discord yet. And then the next thing I knew, I got affiliate. I got like my first ever. I think I hit like 3 subs the 1 month, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit, dude! I got 3 subs." And but like you said, maybe that was before its time. Circling full back around, I want to compliment you on doing that, because not a lot of people are doing it, and I really hope that more people, do the thing of lurking, because especially in today's time, there's so many people working from home. Like, don't fucking bullshit us, dude. You have Twitch open, you're watching someone, just click that link as well and mute it. You don't have to even fucking watch the person. Say hello, mute the tab, go on with your day. Because what are you going to do? You're going to listen to music. You're going to maybe watch another stream. You're going to have a YouTube video open, or just have it open somewhere, because that could literally be life-changing for a lot of people. I get it. Some people just don't want to do it. That's fine by me. You don't want to do it, don't do it. But it's a great initiative that I have to, once again, just compliment you on, and thank you for, especially as a community member. Look, I'm not going to lie. I said in that tweet last week, like, one day it'll be our fucking turn. One day I'll be featured. I would love to be fucking featured. Of course I would. It'll be a great honor as well, because you see a lot of people back you, or you see like a lot of people like, oh man, this guy deserves it. And you get a lot of new faces, which is why I love doing these as well, because there might be some new people that comes from your stream, your community maybe, that sees me now and like, hey, this guy's he's a puss, but he's not that much of a puss, so maybe I'll come back, And that can literally just grow your viewership in a way and skyrocket that one thing you maybe didn't know, or that one stream you needed just to pop off, and it pops off. And the next thing you know, you have 10 new viewers that's watching your stream every day, and the ball just keeps rolling, and growth comes with it.
But that's the thing, is like, the reason why that initiative is so powerful is that brands get thrown around a lot, right? So if your name keeps on being nominated, more people take notice of your brand, more people click on you, they follow you on Twitter, they follow you on Twitch, regardless or not of whether or not you're featured. If you are featured and we do get to these big numbers, I've got commitments from other brands to throw a lot of stuff at them, talking peripherals.
Yeah, I saw. I would love for you. I would love for you to. No, I would. For those of you who don't know, I would love for you to actually broaden out on that. The carpet is yours. I want you to please tell people about I'm going to call it the Bumfluffski's Big Dick Initiative to help out the boys. For those of you who don't
They'll
know
have
what it
less
is,
brand support.
quick rundown. Every week, Bum opens the red carpet to anyone and everyone to nominate who they feel like should be this week's feature, whether it be a local, mostly local, I would say. Mostly
any.
local,
We can
but it
organize
could be
anywhere,
anyone, but mostly local person to be featured.
Yeah.
And then the following happens. Bum, the floor is yours. Please, just
Yeah.
for everyone in chat, I see your questions. We'll get off to them. If you want to keep them for a bit, I promise you guys will get to them. The conversation is flowing well. I appreciate everyone watching, and I love how engaging you guys are. You guys are the best. Forward kiss. Bum is going to give you a forward kiss now.
Where's the thing?
You take your mic and then. Oh, that's kind of
Hold
hard.
up my headphones. Give me a sec.
This is it. We're getting live
Yeah,
action. Live action. You guys ready?
anybody wants to give me wireless headphones? Those are promo. I think I can hear everybody. Yeah,
Time for some wireless headphones. Sort this man out. Anyway, the floor is yours. Please tell us more about what I said.
Okay, so the feature project is basically a way of, I call it hacking the algorithm. So discoverability on Twitch is terrible. The things that push recommendations from Twitch is higher than average numbers in categories or in location with a certain type of demographic. Like if they're talking about people that have specific interests, they're going to push that out to those people more. But you have to have a much higher norm. We compete on the international scale, which means that we need higher numbers. So once you start getting that, if we've got 5,000 people, Twitch starts pushing out that. Other factors that also push out a stream. This is really good for anybody that's in chat. These are some of the stuff I coach. If you want to get high engagement, focus on your channel point redemptions. Channel point redemptions indicates to Twitch that there's interaction between chat and stream. So that's why a lot of people have these like burn points things, or like they'll have like a goal, but the goal doesn't really do anything.
I have the mistake of having TTS. Oh my God.
So all of those things, the more interactions you've got, the more recommendation you get from Twitch. So all of these things are really, really hard to achieve, right? So what we do is like we go, cool, let's gather everybody up on a Monday. You tell us who you want to feature. And as a community, let's get behind that person. So we'll keep the tab pinned for a week. So every time they go live to us. If that's 5,000 people, it's 5,000. If it's 10, if it's 100,000, it's amazing. Like that's what we want to do. The higher the number is, the more we hack those algorithms, the more we get Twitch to see our scene and our creators. Everybody that gets seen, like everybody that comes across to those Twitch viewers comes into the community. There's raids, so there's distribution of viewership. So that's a big part. Then we look at other social medias. Social medias also, they look at interaction. The more interaction there is, the more they push. It's really weird to say, but the more they push your content to your viewers or your followers. We know the Meta, all of them, Facebook and Instagram, they cone off viewership. So if you've got a professional profile, know that you're also going to have a harder time to get organic views and organic likes. So what Zuckerberg and his team do is they look at it and they go, it's a professional profile, which means they're probably willing to spend more ad money. So if you are running a professional profile and you don't have to, you can pull it back to like a personal profile, you get more organic views. But if we send all of us, if we go together and we go and start liking posts and engaging on all of that content, it naturally opens up those blinders a little bit more and gets more people towards those pages. So if we can boost everybody's socials and we can boost their streams, I mean, this isn't just for streamers. It can be musicians. It can be
anything.
Instagram. Yeah, it's any platform. We just want to get behind content creators in South Africa, around the world. It has been South Africa based because that's where like we've been kind of coning things towards. But we've had guys featured overseas, and Red Bull's a big part of our initiative. They
shout out to Red Bull.
2 cans. Yeah, they're amazing, dude.
Love you, Luca.
Yeah, he's amazing, dude. Luca's the best. But yeah, there's they give 2 cases in a tour. We've had a guy in UAE that won it recently, so he just calls up some people and says, "Hey, hook this guy up with 2 cases of Red Bull," and they do.
That's sick.
But we want to get further, dude. We've got commitments from brands to start giving away peripherals, not only to the streamer, or to the content creator, but also to their audience. So the bigger it gets, the bigger everything becomes for everybody. There'll also be like our featured streamer will get paid for that week. We're talking like 10, 15 grand for that 1 week.
Jesus
of being
Christ.
featured.
That's a salary.
Dude, it's crazy. Yeah, that's what we want to push towards. Is like if we can create sustainable financial income doing a project like this, and it's not a hard thing to do. We need to just get numbers up. Once numbers are up, it's like an easy thing. We can push and sell it to anybody. There's also very interactive ways that we're going to have these brands built into the whole project as well. So it's not just going, oh, cool, Enrico, just pop this like logo in your corner. It's like, no, this is your content. This is your space. We're not forcing you to do anything.
Yeah, for them.
Yeah, that's like you'll see. There's never Red Bull logos anywhere. Red Bull's one.
I
of the
was
best
literally
brands,
about to mention that. I remember when I
incredible.
went to Luca and I started our Friends of Red Bull relationship, partnership, or whatever. And then I was like, "So do you want me to like put anything?" And he's like, "No, I want nothing, literally nothing." And then he explained as the whole mindset or the way Red Bull's mindset, and it's mind-boggling that they're.
Amazing,
Well, not mind-boggling. It's insane, and it makes so much sense why they are the biggest. It all makes sense now because they're doing it right. They're doing the marketing right.
They are, yeah. They don't want to invade. It's the same reason why they don't brand. If they're part of an event, they don't brand those events. They'll have the only branding you'll ever see is Red Bull on their own event. Everywhere else, they support a brand, but they do it so well.
Yeah,
it was the same thing. I asked them. I was like, "What do you expect? Did you like what you want from our featured creator?" Because I mean, you're throwing 2 cases of Red Bull. That's like 600, 700 rand, dude. What do you want for that? And he's like, "Ugh, it's fine. Like if they pick up the can once in that week, then we'll be happy." I'm like, we can make him do a lot more than that if he wants. Can I get them to the offices and take photos? He's like, "Yeah, you don't have to, but like if people want to come see the offices, we'll show them around. It'd be really cool." Like, I'm like, no. Like, what do you get in exchange, dude? He's like, no,
he
just want to back the team, man.
Yep.
Like, that's it. That's amazing, dude. Yeah. So that's the future project, dude. Like, we want to blow up South Africa, dude. We want to blow up our content creators. We want to get them in front of brands. We want to get them in front of audiences because every single week we can change somebody's journey. And if it changes one person's journey, this is the whole thing. Like, everybody's like kind of fighting for a slice of the pie, but the real truth is like everybody can make pies, dude. Like we're all learning the recipe while people are like,
we can all get a part of the big pie. I mean, I agree with you where we are all chasing a slice of the pie. And obviously your own journey is your own thing, but if you can if you can spread away or help someone make the pie faster, why not?
Dude, it's big. And that's the thing is like if one person does really well, the entire scene does well. It means there's viewership coming into the South African community. People going, oh wow, I don't know there were South African content creators. I didn't know you guys were so great. And we'd, like just a couple of pussies, but it happens, dude. Like, and people come in and then like the audience grows and international. That's what we people want. Like throw cash at people.
That's always
like,
so weird to me.
Like
people like to compete with the local streamers, right? Like to compete with each other. Why are you competing with them? Why aren't you competing with the bigger guy? Why don't you I don't want to be the biggest South African streamer.
People even competing, dude.
I don't want to be the number one South African sub. I want to be the number one sub in Africa. I want to be the number one sub streamer on Twitch. That's my goals. That's dumb goals. That I mean,
it's not,
statistically, the odds of that happening is insignificant, right? Or like it's 1 to 10 billion, right? But that is my goals. Why should I don't compete with like Cam Siege. Even though he's like one of my best friends. Same with Binks. I don't compete with Binks. I don't want to compete with them, right? I want to compete with the bigger boys. I want to compete with the number ones of the number ones, but I have to make my way there. And I want to full circle on everything you just said, and I want to get into a little bit of controversy or spiciness, if there is any, really. So you've now mentioned about the feature creator project. By the way, chat, next week, Monday, I want you guys to go follow Bum. He's going to make a tweet. Please just go at me and say like HenricoM is your favorite streamer.
Rico's been close a couple of times. So
I want to ask: has there ever been any drama? Because I've heard that I'm not going to print out names. I'm not going to bring up names. It was more just the conversation that I've had with people where they're like, "Yo, but it's favoritism, you know, it's only what Bum thinks." And I've full on stopped this. People like, no, Bum literally asks people to recommend someone. You fuck nut. It doesn't sit there and pick someone. Exactly. Number one.
Yeah.
And number two, there's obviously been has there ever been any drama, Shania, that you're willing to talk about? And
I'll open book.
Are you not scared? You're mentioning pretty big things here, dude. Peripheral sponsors and you know a financial gain from being the feature streamer, right? Are you not scared / worried that it might turn into more of a competition then? I mean, in hindsight, it is a competition of like which streamer is going to get the most votes that week. If you look at it in the broad spectrum, but obviously I know that's not your intent. I know that's not your intent at all. Your intent is to do the thing about the community growth. But like, what are your thoughts on that? Like I said, give me the spice. I want the spice, dude. If you have some little Durban spice, throw it out there. And what do you think is going to happen once there's a monetary? Because I'm telling you now, I firmly believe if Cougar, Logitech, Razer, whoever the fuck is like, yo, we'll give to everyone for the next 10 weeks, they will get a brand new mouse and keyboard. It's going to become a competition, I feel like. How do you plan on handling that? Or are you going to change your system, or what are the thoughts there?
No, so the system is built for that to happen. So if you are the featured streamer, you have the most votes, and it goes up by a factor according to how many people are active in the project. So right now, the featured streamer gets 10 votes. And those votes they can split or they can dedicate it to one person. But we are in those chats and we're monitoring who's actively showing up, because those guys get bonuses, right? So the more active you are in the featured streamers chat, the more likely you are to become the featured streamer. That's like the number one, right? So that's the thing we focus on the most. So if people are going to compete, it means they have to be supporting the project. So it just blows up the project. So it kind of like just cannibalizes itself. So we want people compete. It means that you are trying to be a bigger supporter than somebody else.
Okay.
And that's great. That's what we want. So people are going to be competing with how much support they give to the featured streamer and to the project. So that grows. I get a lot of questions going like, or a lot of statements, but my DMs, they blow up all the time. But it's people saying, oh, favoritism. I saw, you're a big fan of this person. You're a big fan of that person. The way it works, right, is that the featured streamer gets 10 votes. Those votes never expire. So they will stay assigned to that person until that person gets nominated. So say Cam nominates you, you get 10 votes, and that just stays until Henrico he goes up. And once he goes up, it goes back down to 0. Everybody else's votes lapse after 4 weeks. So after 4 weeks, week 1 falls away, and we take in the new vote. So it's a system that also takes consideration of longevity of support or longevity of voting, so the same person can add votes over 4 weeks. That's fine. So I can vote for you for 4 weeks and you'll get 4 votes. But if you are making a real impact, there'll be a lot of people voting for you all 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And sometimes people come out and their votes are the same. It's not only the votes aren't our only assessment of who's going to go, who's going to be featured. So we've got 2 people that I don't name. Otherwise, like the reason why I never get, like, I don't want to be featured or anything is because then it's people are going to come and they're going to suck up to me, and people do it all the time. And I'm like, dude, I don't pick, and then like their support drops, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I can see.
I was going to ask, like, has that ever happened?
Yeah, it happens a lot. So it's the same with. We can see people that follow from. We also look at outgoing featured streamers or content creators, and we see who's kind of stuck around there a bit as well. And those are generally the people that kind of align to that person's content as well. I'm not saying everybody's going to hang behind, but there are bonus points for that. Like, we want to see people taking part in the community, uplifting the community, celebrating people's contents, embracing the South African scene and doing as much as they can. And there's there's 2 people that are constant, and we bring in 4 people randomly throughout the community that come into that group, and they give me a name. So sometimes I get that name a little bit late on a Tuesday. Sometimes I get it super early, but that's the name I get given. That's the name that goes live, and that's that. So I don't actually get a choice. I'm just like the person that's got the voice. I'm the person that, like, everybody checks the tweets on the Monday. That's fine. So I'll do that, but like other people pick.
It's a good system.
Thank God, because I can't.
Oh yeah, I would.
Yeah,
like you said, people are already sucking up to you and just adding. Yeah. But now let's get to the drama part, because yes, I think Ash just said it in chat. Like, competition is good because it drives you to be better and be more engaging and stuff.
Sure.
But to me, it's just like, I know South Africans mostly. So I'm going to say South Africans, but I know how we are. Like, I'm just scared it gets to like a proper jealousy point where people are like fucking solidly like WWE Raw style competing. For that 2 cases of Red Bull, or just to be on Bumfluffski's Twitter.
Yeah, it does. Like, so we get that a hell of a lot, and I get a lot of people send me DMs asking if I hate them, and I'm like, I don't.
I don't think
hate
you hate anyone.
anybody.
I don't think you
I'm like
hate anyone.
I don't think anybody's got the time and energy to hate people. That sounds exhausting.
So much work.
It's like,
I hate a few people. I hate a few. It sucks though because I want to forgive them, but I'm never gonna.
no, sure, like, and that's fine. Like, I'm not focused on people enough to be like, I hate that person, and I hope horrible things happen. I'm just like,
I just want to save the
Whatever.
world real quick. Famous, please, for the love of God, never become a social media manager. You will ruin people. Please, please, never ever.
do
Just
it for a
don't.
week. Do
No,
it for a week, dude.
no.
I'll give you. I can't say
Dude,
that. That's going to spark up controversy. People are going to be like, "Oh no, he does pick." I was going to say, "I'll give you featured streamer if you let Famous manage your socials for next week," but I got no power.
Oh my
Guys,
God.
please vote him in, and then I'm going to announce it as part of the
Oh
prize.
no,
Famous
dude.
is going to give you social media management for a week as well.
God.
You can't say no, otherwise you don't
Help.
get RuPaul.
Good luck to anyone. To anyone.
No, so if things get hectic, right?
Thank you,
the way
Jordan.
that the way that we kind of balance things out is going like you don't need to be featured to get part of the benefit. Like I imagine if we get 5,000 people that are floating around in the featured chat, like in the featured streamers chat, that every raid is going to be big. So that audience is going to go to that raided channel and start going everywhere. So everybody's numbers are going to start picking. Okay, so we make a concerted effort, but it's spread, and it's the same with the prizes. So I recently won a PC from PC Builder, and when I was entering that, I said, if I win this, I'm going to take the components out that I need, and then I'm going to put in the stuff that I'm replacing, and I'm going to give away that PC. Fast forward, I actually won it. It's a very similar PC to what I've got.
I remember.
And there were a couple of
I
components
feel like I know where this is going.
yeah?
I feel like I know where this is
like,
going.
I could have put a couple of components in, yeah, but then PC builders, they have one package. They're like, this is a plug and play. Like, it's not a components type thing. So I was like, no, that's fine. Like, I'll give away the PC. And the guy that I'm giving it to, he's got a couple of components because he was building a PC. He'll just give that to somebody else. And I was like, what if we have like a paid for it system? So like, I win a mouse, I give my mouse to somebody, and they like, how do we do this chain of like everybody wins? And the thing, I'm speaking to a couple of brands about this as well, but like I don't keep anything to me. Like if it's a good idea, everybody can be good. So basically what I want to run is going, okay, cool. Like, hey Mozzie, what's up? I don't want him learning.
Yeah, you shouldn't, yeah.
They're
Fuck
creepy
the
little
Mozzie,
bastards,
dude.
yeah.
Weird.
No, so like what I'll do is I'll put out a post and I'll say, okay, cool, we're giving away a PC. You put something in the comments that you'll give away if you win the PC. And under that comment, if somebody wants that, they have to do the same. And whoever's got the longest thread of giveaways, that's what they follow. So we go, okay, cool. I give it to Henrico. Henrico gives away his microphone and his headset to I don't know, Famous gives them away to something away to somebody else, and it's just this, everybody gets something, you know. And there's a way of doing that. It just means that the more value you add at the top, you know, people are going to give away good things because they want to build like a thread underneath them. So like people will start looking around for like things that maybe they don't use that are very valuable for somebody else. So everybody starts winning stuff. So that can also be built into, I've already pitched it to a couple of brands coming into something like this, but they weren't numbers. As soon as there's numbers, they're like, cool, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So then we go, okay, our featured streamer wins a new PC. That featured streamer will be featured, like we'll speak to you before it and go, okay, Henrico, you're winning a new PC. You can either give it away to people, this is the mechanic we're going to be using, or you can give something away to the people, but this is the mechanic.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's
that.
One person wins, everybody wins, sort of thing. So it's with viewership,
Carry us
with
forward.
the prizes,
Oh yeah,
everybody.
I think you as a streamer, like in the end, our life is numbers. We want more viewership. Like it's because more viewership equal more monetary value in the long run. If you ride the wave properly, at least. That's insane, dude. That's fucking amazing, by the way, that you came up with that. I feel like you have a very very good heart. And I have to compliment you on it. Like I would never be able to do something like that because the moment I see one ungrateful fuck, I'm like, all right, well, fuck everyone, I'm done, peace. You know, I think I have a very very short temper for that. For those types of things. So that's insane. That is, I'm really keen for it. And yeah, if there's any brands that maybe watch my stream that's maybe in here right now, reach out to the homies, reach out to me, Bum. I don't give a fuck, but anyone. It's just insane. That's a very, very good initiative, and I think in South Africa we need like you're like the Nelson Mandela right now, dude, of like South African streaming, and we needed one that's just like willing to be like, listen, fuckers, let's just sort this shit out. Let's help each other. Come on, let's just bury the hatchet, right? Bury the hatchet.
I'll tell you where it comes from though, because it's not always been that way. So earlier on, I mentioned my mom, right? So my mom was diagnosed in 2012, given 3 years to live. She lived until 2020, so she gave us a lot more. And when she was initially, I'll give you an idea of the type of woman she is. So when she was initially diagnosed, I said to her, I was like, Mom, what's going through your head? This is insane. She was working in palliative care for hospice, which is basically making sure that when you, like anybody that's terminally ill, they're comfortable, they're pain-free, and they slip away, sort of. The first thing she said to me was, I'm actually quite blessed because this gives me a better understanding of my patients so I can treat them better. And I was just like, it made me angry because I was like,
how can you
not just be selfish for a second?
Yeah, like, this is about you.
You've got cancer, dude. Like, so that's the type of person. So fast forward, lockdown happens. My mom goes in. She's got lots of fluid in her lung. They need to drain it. Then we get this call. She's not coming back. So, okay, cool. Let's go through. Let's go speak to her. And I get my time with her, and I'm sitting with her, and she says to me, because I said to her on Sunday, I'm supposed to be doing the stream for Kango Wildlife Ranch where we're like there in Oatsu and we're like raising money so that they can feed the animals and stuff. And she's like, you should do it. And I was like, but like, no, it was getting too late in the week. We knew she wasn't going to make it out the week. I was like, there's no way. And she said to me, she didn't say Bumfluffski, she said Chris. So she said, Chris, we do good things because we have the opportunity, not because we expect anything in return. And I was like, okay, that doesn't, like, it's just a bunch of words, but it stuck with me, and it stuck with me for a really long time.
That's your mom.
Yeah. So she said, so I kind of broke it down. She said, we do good things. And I was like, okay, so let me break this down. Good for me, good for others, good for both of us. Like what? Okay, let me think about that. So it's obviously doing good for other people. Like it's doing good for myself. It doesn't really matter about opportunities in return because it doesn't fit. So it must be, okay, doing good things for other people. And then she spoke about opportunity, and opportunity doesn't mean that like things are just floating around. It might mean that you've got a bigger voice, that you've got a better influence, that people that other people don't know, so you can put them in connection. You've got an opportunity to do things. But the thing that stuck for me the most was we don't expect things in return. And I was like, wow, okay, so like obviously just for money. And it wasn't. It was deeper than that. It's like if you, like my biggest thing, and this sounds stupid, but it's like letting people in to traffic and they don't say thank you. And I'm always like, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome,
like,
do us.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can just say thanks. That's the like if you are letting somebody in so that they can say thank you, you're never doing it for that person. You're doing it for you. You're doing it for gratitude. You're doing it for acknowledgement. So that's the biggest thing that I had to learn was like, you might not get anything back. You might not even get consideration. You might not thank you.
Yeah.
You might not get anything back. That's the point. Is like, you're not doing it because you're getting something back in return. Otherwise, you're doing something for yourself. You're doing it for them. It's because you got the opportunity. So like that changed my entire perspective. And I still streamed that Sunday, and it was incredibly tough. I never spoke. Like, there's still people that don't know that my mom passed away because I just try to carry on because I was giving people the opportunity, a place to be, So I was like, let me just carry on. And I never wanted to announce it because I didn't want people to feel bad for me and be like, oh no, we need to be there.
No.
Support this guy and maybe he needs stuff. And I was like, no, like I'll keep it my secret, but like I want to, like my grief counselor, he said something really, really cool. And he's like, the hole that's left behind is not there for us to fill with things. It's there for us to grow into. And if you use the things from the person that passed away to close that hole, it just makes that hole stronger. So the traits or like any lessons and I was like, that's quite a beautiful thing. And that's what I wanted to do, is like, I wanted to close this hole with that advice from her and just understand it. And the more I dived into it, the more I understood, and the more like I started doing for other people and seeing them thrive, the more that hole got smaller. And I was like, that's That's the one, and it's not easy.
And are you growing into it?
Because sometimes you're like, just say fucking thank you, or
Yeah.
I did that. Like that's the reason that you achieved that was because I told you to do that. And you're like, no, but then I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for that nod in my direction. No, I never ever did it. So like that was a really big lesson, and that's where everything changed for me. And that was 2020, the 16th of June, and that's when everything changed for me. Mm.
That's beautiful. That's a very good. It's a very good lesson to carry with you. I mean, especially when it comes from your mom, dude. Your mom is like a very special. Well, I think 99.9% of people on earth have a very good relationship with their parents. So, or especially with their moms. So I think that's beautiful. Quick shout out to Antari for the raid. Thank you very much, homie. I appreciate it. Or Dommy Mommy, as we have her. I have a quick little one that I saw here from Kamanu actually, that I would love to get your opinion on. Kamanu is Jesus Christ. I actually hate talking to him because he's so smart. So it always makes me realize how dumb I am. So this is talking about your strategy with regards to, giving back. He says, I can't help but think the main downside to the strategy, or to the strategy, to that strategy is that means that people without nice things to give away can never win the nicest prizes. Do you have a way of dealing with that? So I'm guessing what he means is like, let's say it's some homie and he has a Microsoft keyboard and you're giving away a Razer keyboard and he wins the Razer keyboard and now he has nothing to give away. What would you say? What would the process be there? Because I mean, it's a very, very good point.
It is. It's a very, very good point. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give something away that you own. It might be giving away something that you do. I believe that everybody's super talented.
Okay.
Like everybody does something better than you. Everybody. So there must be something that you are able to provide for someone. And that's the thing is like, we live in a very creative part of the entire ecosystem of opportunity. It's like we can come up with something. Like I will come to your house and I will arrange your books for you. Like if somebody like was going to come and clean up my house for me and like rearrange my cables, I wish I could show you this. It's a definite fire hazard. Like if somebody was going to do that, dude, 100% I'll accept it. There's so many things that you can do, and like that's the thing is like maybe like
doesn't always have to be something physical.
It doesn't, but Kamano, thank you for bringing this up because it's also something that needs to be communicated. It's saying like everybody's got something to give. It doesn't mean that you have to give up the thing that you love the most. Just like what can you do for that person? Like you can actually reach out and say, Henrico, what do you need? Like I don't have something to give you, but what can I write under your tweet that you really that you think would be really, really good for somebody else, like what is it? And when we start looking at that, we start digging into people's passion. And we go, okay, it might not be, you might be really good at cooking. You might be really good at painting. You might be really, really good at, there might be something there that you're really, really passionate about. And this is a really, really good opportunity to push it to other people and let them know, So it's a very, very good point. And I think it comes down to communication and going like, maybe something's like I'll give you a PC, you give away something to somebody else, but it needs to be service related. Like
maybe there's something else we can do.
Advertise your businesses, get something from your work. Like another really big thing that I'm trying to embark on is like creating a central place of resources for everybody to go like, okay, well, if you want to approach a brand, what do you need to do? Okay, you need to put together media kits. Shout out to Henrico because I showed his media kit to a bunch of my as well. There's like
mine.
Your media kit is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
It hits like all the points. It's really, really, really super, super nice.
Thank you.
And was it hard for you to set that up?
Well, I didn't do it. I had the idea, but I had someone who's creative. I told them what I wanted. So it was technically in here, but like I didn't know how to make it pretty. So I just got like a really talented chick to make it for me. So.
See that? But yeah, that's I had the idea. That somebody can provide to somebody.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's so many things. There's all these places for people to enter. But once people understand that they're actually valuable, it's not just going, okay, cool. I can actually provide something to somebody. But maybe it's a realization that you can actually do stuff more than you know. You can do stuff that other people value. Maybe that becomes a business idea. Maybe that becomes something that you pursue and you actually make money from the community and doing. There's so many things, man.
She's right. Shout out Evo. Shout out to Evo. Yeah, she's the one who made it for me. And I actually have been giving or like trying to give her a lot more things to do. Like I'm like, hey, listen, I need this edited or I need this photo edited or whatever. And I give it to her because maybe she can grow that into a little bit of a little side hustle, maybe something permanent one day. I like giving opportunity to people that also I feel like deserve it. Like, for example, her. She like I said, I had the idea and everything, and she made it look pretty. I just gave her all the numbers.
Yeah, it's amazing. But that's what it is. It's numbers and collaboration, man. We haven't spoken about collaboration, but that's how you get in the cool club, man.
But
it's
I struggle
reaching out to people and collaborate.
Okay, so we can talk about that. I would love to talk about that because, like what I said earlier, with regards to collaboration, I feel I struggle asking someone that I've never spoken to before, ever, to be like, hey,
sure,
want to collab? Because here's my mindset. They're going to think this motherfucker just wants to like gain off my success. Which, look, don't get me wrong. Obviously, if I ask someone, we can talk about Rachel. If I ask Rachel, will she be on my stream? Obviously, it benefits her in probably a tenth of the amount that it benefits me, right? Like I might be getting a 10 and she will be getting a quarter, right? Because obviously she's a much larger personality, a much larger streamer, creator. So when I talk to people, I'm like, hey, listen, I would love to talk to you. I would love to invite you on my stream. Or especially if it's someone I've never spoken to before, I'm always so scared that they think like, hey, this guy is just trying to, he's trying to ride off my success. So if you have any advice on that, I guess, or no, but in here, bro.
It's the same conversation we had earlier when we said like, we think everybody's so superior until we speak to them and then we realize it's just another human that shits, dude. Like that's the thing is, it doesn't need to be about benefit. There was nothing when you asked me to come here. I didn't go, let me think of the benefits. Let me write these down quickly and then give them an answer. I was like, that's a fucking cool thing to do, man. I'd love to spend more time with Henrico. Let's do it. I watched all your other stuff. I've seen your interviews. I was playing games with Chloe and then she read it through and then she had a chat with you and I watched this. I was like, this is amazing.
I love it.
So
dude.
like that's
I love
the thing
doing
is
this.
like, but this is the thing, dude, is like it's a really cool opportunity to sit and talk. That's it.
That's what I want to do. I don't want it to be
man.
a podcast topic centric thing. It can be a podcast with regards to like I've said in the story. If you want to talk about dicks, let's talk about fucking dicks. I don't mind. I want to just
feel like you do. You've mentioned it like 2 times.
I really want to talk about some dick, dude. But it's always the one that I throw. It's always the one that I throw out there because it's always weird when I invite people. The first thing they usually ask me like, "What do you want to talk about?" I'm like, "Whatever." What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk? If you want to bring up a topic, bring it up. Let's talk about it. And I would love to get Chloe on again. That woman is way too busy. I don't like. She's way too busy.
She's super busy.
She's way too busy these days for me.
She's very busy. She normally blue ticks me on WhatsApp, but now I don't even get a blue tick. It's rude.
I'm so happy it's not just me.
No, she's known as the queen of blue ticks.
Oh,
dude.
she did.
She's terrible at WhatsApp.
Well. At least we know we're not alone. At least we know we're not alone. At least we know
I'll add you to the group, dude. You just sit there and
we're all like the Chloe rejection club, the Chloe blue tick club. Welcome to the. And then you have like certain levels. You have like blue tick, or then you have like the gray tick.
How many blue ticks are you on?
Currently, dude, I can literally show you. I can literally tell you how many gray ticks are on. With her. I'm pretty sure we spoke 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 messages in, and she's read all of them. And the best part is, I would message her and she didn't reply, but then I would make something on Twitter, Insta reply, like, comment, everything.
Yeah, of course, dude. She's a cloud chaser, this one.
She's
no, I'm joking.
We all know.
No, she's lovely.
The real Chloe. She's very busy.
She's just way too busy, dude.
I know what's in the pipeline for her, and I'm so amped for it. And I'm so excited, dude. I'm so excited for her. And I'm
not revealing anything for her.
Oh yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither. I'm amped for her. I'm excited. I'm excited.
There's G-Sack slipping in here and saying like I feel like I need to defend Chloe. How many grey ticks on your phone? I know because I haven't responded to her last message.
I mean, to be fair, Chris is also Bumfluffski is also a fairly good blue ticker chat. Or he takes his time to respond at least.
I do. I like to say that I want to be in the right mental capacity to give you a good response.
Thank you. Oh my God! Why can't more people be like that? Why can't more people be like that? I will like
if you want an instant response, give me a call, dude. I'll always pick up the phone.
Exactly.
But like that's my response. Is like if it's urgent, you'll call me. If it's not, give me the time to write
To message to respond properly. Thank you so much, Real Hippie, for the 12 months, by the way. I see you, brother. Bumfluffski blue ticks me every day. So we got Mrs. Fluffsky throwing some shade here towards her husband. Bum, can we dive into this? What is happening? What's happening here, bro?
If I will answer the phone. I promise I will answer the phone. Like no, I'm just trying to delay this conversation as long as possible, because I know as soon as I walk out of here, she's gonna beat me. She's already got like one of my big like winter socks filled with coins and like soap bars, and I think as soon as I walk out here, I'm just
you walk out, and you're bald as well, so there's not like hair to like protect it. So like it's gonna be an instant knockout, dude.
Dude, it's horrible. Like it's very hard to hide as well. Like people are like, "Oh, your hair's growing back." I'm like, "No, it's bruises."
So what did you want to say about collaboration? I feel like I completely pushed you off there.
Okay, collaboration. If you want to grow in SA, you need to go to events. You need to talk to people. You just need to go to them. Go up to them and say, "Hey, this is who I am." Everybody knows who you are, Henrico. Like I feel like you saying that you're not part of the cool club. I feel like people look up to you. Maybe people are too shy to come and speak to you. Like this is the thing, right? Go out and speak to people. I'm speaking to chat as well. Nobody is scary. And if they are, then you don't need to ever support them ever again. It gives you a really, really good idea of who they are. Right? So if somebody, if you go up to somebody and somebody's a complete dick to you, you don't need to support them anymore. It's really, really nice. You save your time, you go to somebody else. But I promise you, if you go up to people and you start greeting them, you're going to make more friendships. The person's going to recognize you. They're going to have a reference point to build a relationship on, because you can't build a relationship with somebody that you never ever speak or you never ever meet. And at events, that's the best place to meet people, because there's face, there's auditory, and there's visual cues. I assign myself, like now, like our interaction, mine with you was also, it came with a hoodie, which is quite tight for me. So my wife gets all the cool hoodies. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to.
Hey,
actually, it's a motivating factor.
Want to talk about it? I'm here, bro. I'm here.
No, listen, it's a motivating factor for me, because now if I exercise and I get into shape, it means I can wear Henrico's hoodie.
It's a cool hoodie.
And it's like,
very nice.
It's a flipping cool hoodie, dude. It's really, really cool. If you guys haven't bought one, like, speak to this.
Yeah, chat, !! merch right now.
So dude, collaborate, man. Get in there and create a reference point, dude.
I would love, and I'm gonna throw my coin in your purse here, even though I know you do it already for me, because we've had this conversation before. I would love to be part of more events.
Sweet.
The thing is, I personally don't get invited. I'll say this, and I have been invited to once, don't get me wrong, but I don't get invited in the way, and this makes me sound like a dick, but I don't care. I feel like I've worked hard to get here. I don't get invited in the sense of like, I want to be someone at the event. You know?
Yeah.
Like I want to, yes, I'm not a Twitch partner. I'm not. I fucking wish I was, but I have worked. But listen, bro, you're much bigger than just, okay.
No, dude.
What I want is I also want to be part of the event in a way where I can help a brand, or I help a section of the streams, or, you know, StreamerCon or whatever. And not necessarily just like, yeah, obviously making money from an event would be fucking huge. That would be amazing. That'd be very, very nice. And that's something I would love, but not even just that. Maybe just, you know, some travel there. Or like give me a free ticket and maybe like a travel day or something, or you'll pay for my petrol or whatever. I want to be involved with more events by being an actual person there. And I don't really know how to get that point across to people, because I'm one of those, I feel bad for, this is weird, dude. I ask for subs every day, but when it comes to a brand asking them for money, I don't know how to do it. I just look at my chat, I'm like, yo, any gifters? And then hopefully someone gets a sub. But when it comes to brand and stuff, I struggle with that. And with Rage, I was extremely sad. I was very, very sad when I put my name into the hat, I want to say at around April. And they came back to me and they said, thank you. Your name is on, but we're not taking anyone yet. Like we're not cementing anything. And I was like, that's great, you know? And then I followed up in like August, and they're like, thank you so much. Not yet, but almost there. And then I followed up in like October or something. It was just after Comic-Con actually that I followed up. And they're like, great, can you send us like your stat pack again and everything, like your media, everything, you know, and what you expect? So I told them exactly what I expect and everything, and I get a reply. And then like a week before Rage, they tell me like, all right, listen, unfortunately we're not taking anyone, right? But then like a day later, they announce all these other people that they have there, right? Through Rage, which sucked. It fucking sucked. It hurt. Because it made me feel like I was just not good enough. Okay, and that, as a streamer, that was something that I dealt with, but it was fine because literally the day after, Luca gave me the biggest fucking opportunity to host a Red Bull Flick event through Rage, and that was big dick for me, and that's one of my proudest moments ever because I fucking did an event for Red Bull. So anyone ever doubted me, suck my dick. But like, how do I want to be more involved with the events, not necessarily in your sense. Like when I feel like when you're part of events, you're a very big community guy. Like you do things like you help fucking host. You're like not security. I almost said you're a security guard, but like at Comic-Con, you were staff essentially. Like you were moving around, you were like hosting the events. So I would love to be there. I would love to be one of those people. Not like I said necessarily filling your shoes, but like being a streamer for Comic-Con that weekend, or being a streamer for StreamerCon or whatever, right? Like I said, not just necessarily just because I want money, but also because I know that will put a little bit more eyes on me. And I get that that's what everyone wants, but we all started somewhere, and this is my next step. This is the next thing that I have to do to get maybe a little bit more interaction and stuff like that. And something that I really disliked about StreamerCon, and I told this to Calvin. I said this in the after surveys. I said, and this is not taking away from Chloe, Joey, or Dunkstar at all. It's not, because I spoke to all three of them that weekend, and I told them the same thing as well. Again, I didn't talk to Joey. I'm lying. But I said this thing, I feel like it shouldn't just be the Twitch partners, right? Granted, they fucking deserve that. They worked their dick off to get there. Granted. But feature everyone else as well. Not me. It doesn't just have to be me. I didn't say but there's some other streamers who also I feel like deserve to have a panel. You know? Maybe have a group of people who are fucking full-time. The people who are full-time, regardless of if they are, how can I say, regardless of regardless of whether they're full time or whatever. Right? Just have a bit of a broader sense of who you're going to invite on, right? And that's something that I made very, and I hope that with the next StreamerCon they really will put a bit of effort into giving more people a chance to speak, because I was on your panel and I was on Rusty's panel, right? And both of them are great, but I felt like I had so little time to actually engage with the people that wanted to maybe ask questions and stuff like that. And the moment that thing ends, I mean, you were there, bro. The moment it ends, everyone gets up their chairs and runs. That's it. That's the first thing that happens. When a panel, you can be a bit more engaging. If you're maybe doing an event like what you and Mr. Wizard did, that was fucking sick, because you guys got to collaborate with not only the creators but also with the audience. You know, that's my next thing for 2023. I would fucking love to be part of more events, and not, like I said, not just on a pay slip level, but also just to, like you said, to collaborate with more people going to an event. And I'm sorry, but if like Comic-Con Cape Town, for example, right? I have no issue driving there every day because I live in Somerset West. It's like 30 minutes away, right? But let's take you, for example. You live in Joburg or Pretoria, where the fuck? You live very, very far. So I would hope that if StreamerCon or Comic-Con is like, hey, we would love to have you there, they at least like buy your ticket and give you like, you know, a few dollars here and there for being there for the day. Or like, let's say there's a Rage again at the end of the year. I would love to go, but then, you know, give me some cash money for being there every day and being your influencer, if I have to say it that way. Because that's what the other people are doing, and that's what they're getting. Yeah. So that is one of my goals for the year. I believe there's two things you have. You have goals and milestones. A milestone I'd love to hit is 5,000 followers, but a goal I have two goals this year. Number one is Twitch partner, and number two is to be at more events, but as a paid partner. I don't know if that's the right word. Yeah. So I'm tossing my coin into your hat for Comic-Con and StreamerCon, bro. I will literally kiss your forehead.
Okay, so I came very late into the whole StreamerCon thing. I worked for them for a month before, just helping. I was like show caller there, making sure everybody's on stage and stuff. And they asked my advice very early on, and then very, very late. And then during that process, I got to know the Comic-Con guys a lot more. And that entire team is exceptional. They're really, really good. I can't say a bad thing about them, because they aren't. They don't know enough about the scene, and what they're doing is they're approaching people that do, and they're going, how do we make this better?
How do we run this?
Yeah, so I've got a lot more influence in the StreamerCon thing coming up. I've sat with them since the close of Comic-Con Joburg, and we've been just putting our heads together, especially with all the feedback that came back. We had like a joint session where we had members of the community come, and we pitched panel ideas to them. We asked them about their ideas and stuff. And like some of the solutions that we're doing is because I came to them, I was like, we need to celebrate more diversity, need to have a more inclusive panel. I said to them, I will work with you guys if you let me spend your budget on the community. And they're like, we're happy. Like, that sounds good. That's exactly what we want to do. So we looked at different things and ways we could do it. So firstly, a separate space for everybody. We want to make it less panel-y and more discussion-y, if that makes sense. Have more events with the entire community together doing different activities and stuff. But the panels are going to be now split between an expert in the topic, maybe a long time, somebody that's been streaming for a long time, or one of the biggest streamers, somebody that's just started streaming, or one of the smaller streamers. And we're going to construct all of the panels around that. So a lot more inclusion.
I love
because
that.
also every single person that sits on that panel has a different, like they've got a different stage that they come in. You might have somebody that's an expert in OBS, somebody that's been streaming for a long time using OBS, and somebody that just got started. Every single person is going to have a different story and a different viewpoint on using OBS, for example. So every single panel is going to be consistent. It's going to be containing a very wide variety. And that's what we want. We want multiple angles on the same topic. And then very discussion based, like get the audience involved a lot easier. Interaction with the live stream while it's going, or with the live panel while it's going. Make it feel like maybe like a Twitch chat with hydrates and all of those things. Like get it a lot more upbeat and a lot more inclusive and not businessy. Like it's not a business. The StreamerCon isn't a business thing, so you shouldn't have to sit there and listen to like a conference like you had a
it's not a exactly. It's not a conference meeting or anything.
Yeah. So they've got really, really cool plans coming up. Things like having name tags and stuff as well. So it breaks that initial introducing yourself thing,
that's cool.
which is a massive difference as well.
Oh yeah, I think one of the when I got my thank you first. I mean, Comic-Con gave me a 4-day pass for free, which is fucking huge. But like I remember seeing like some people have creator or streamer, and mine just said 4-day pass. And I was like, well, that's kind of lame because like I'm also a creator streamer, right? So I think that's fucking huge.
Yeah, it's very, very big. So there'll be that. There's a lot of things that they want to do, and there's a lot more peripheral partners that they want to bring in and sponsors. So it's really cool. Like I see them making big headway. The one sticking point was in terms of budget, because budget for this isn't really big because it's still something that they're selling to brands, right?
Yeah,
so
it's a new thing. StreamerCon is a new thing.
It is. Yeah. So they've got to convince brands that their brand's going to be seen and that their brands are going to benefit. So we've done it with Joburg pretty much. So Joburg's got a pitch. Cape Town's new for the StreamerCon thing. So again, budgets aren't going to be huge. So when we sat down, they were like, okay, we've got a budget. Do we spend it on community, or do we spend it on individual speakers? So do we do things like giving everybody lunch, giving everybody like refreshments and all of these things, or do we just pay people to go up on stage? And we go, well, if everybody's going to benefit, that sounds pretty sick.
Yeah.
But if people are going to be traveling, maybe we need to look at things like that. And that's where like brands come in as well. And like part of my advice on that side was going, if you are going to be traveling for this thing, you've got a lot of content for a brand. That's something you throw in a pitch. You speak to a brand and you go, I'm going down to Comic-Con and I'm going to talk about your brand. Do you want that? I'm going up on stage. I can wear your shirt. I can wear your cap. I can get brand presence. And you'd be surprised how many people throw money at that. It was the same problem. Like people were saying, oh, stream booths are very, very expensive. I'm like, why are you paying for it? Why don't you speak to a brand? They're paying hundreds of thousands for stand space.
Yeah, at Rage, there were so many. There were like so many streaming booths. Surely they just had like us, because I know that Logitech had a big thing at Rage where they gave peripherals. They're like, yeah, fucking use the shit, please. Helps us.
Go speak to a brand. Tell a brand it's going to cost this much to have a stream booth, but I'll have your products on display there. Why don't you pay for it? No. They're paying next to nothing. They won't even get the SMS phone.
Exactly.
It's a really good opportunity to work with brand. Really, really good opportunity. No. All of these things are. Like if you're going to be up on stage, let somebody pay for the closure. Do it. Yeah. Like go and talk to them. They will. I promise you.
There's someone willing to. That's how I got my thing with Red Bull. I mean, I've been talking to Luca, I want to say for maybe 2 years now already, and he always told me like, when can we meet? Like he wants to meet. And then I remember I walked into Comic-Con the first day And I saw Luca and them. I was like, this weekend I'm making a fucking point of seeing him. So I went to him. I was like, listen, bro, what day is your chillest? I just want to come talk to you. And he's like, yes, please, we need to do this. And now I'm like, I'm part of. I'm with with the Red Bull Friendship Program, and that's fucking sick. So I 100% agree with you. It's a really, really good place to talk to people and brands. And it's always nice. Easy. It's always nice to like put a name to the face. I guess I think that, especially as a streamer, that's why again, this comes back to me changing myself. But like a year ago, I would never have done this. Same with Comic-Con. I would never have done that a year ago. There's no way. They could have paid me all the money in the world. That was a me issue. Like, I'm not going to go. But I've grown so much more confident in what I'm doing in myself.
Yeah.
That now I can start benefiting of that by going to more events and doing more events. But I want to also benefit in a way where it helps me grow as a streamer and a creator, where I can spend money to make more money.
Exactly. But let's go to the confidence thing. How do you build confidence, right? It's by doing something that you're scared of and realizing that it's not that bad, right?
Out of your comfort zone.
That's what builds confidence. So once you do that, like now you went and you spoke to Luca, and Luca's like, come on as a friend of Red Bull. It's like one of the coolest things in the world, dude. Like I'm also a friend of Red Bull up in Joburg. And if we're doing, like, we've got like events and stuff that we want to plan monthly. And we went to them and he's like, okay, cool. As a friend of Red Bull, we can't pay for things, but we can give you access to things. So we'll send Sia Khaleesi, Kisa Rabada through there. You can have the Red Bull truck. We'll cater. We'll do this. They can't pay for things, but they can cover expenses. Like being a friend of Red Bull is fucking amazing.
And that brings more eyes.
Sponsorship. Oh, dude, it's amazing.
Exactly. I love it.
They're massive backers. Like they're insane. But it's a conversation, right? Because I said to Luke, I was like, dude, I want to talk to you about the future project thing. And I hopped on a call with him and Mike, and they were like, dude, we love this project. They basically sold it to me. And I was like, I was almost going to be like, I want in, dude. Wait, this is my thing, dude.
When I went, dude, we didn't even, we booked like an hour and a half. For like 50 minutes, we didn't even talk about Red Bull. We spoke about like games and like all the cool shit, dude. It's so nice when you talk to someone who, he's not a guy sitting there in a suit, It's a guy that he knows what scene you're in. He knows how to. He
was the first Twitch partner, the first South African Twitch partner.
Yeah.
So like he's a massive geek. This is what he loves, dude. This
Proper
is his scene. This is why he's the person that turned Red Bull's head towards the scene. Like
in gaming,
after Luca being at Red Bull, none of this would exist. None of it. And you tell him that, and he'll be like, "No, man, whatever."
Yeah.
Like he's the nicest human in the world, dude.
He's such a nice guy. I fucking love him. And his fiance / wife, she's also doing fucking great. I actually think I want to invite her on. I'm gonna talk to him first about it. I think I want.
Do it.
I would love to pick her brain because she is growing at a rapid rate. And she is doing so well. TikTok, yes, dude. It's so well done.
The food is amazing.
The effort she puts
does Luca stay skinny, dude? I have no idea. It's the food in that man's house. I swear to God.
He's such a good-looking dude as well.
Yeah, dude.
Swole.
Yes.
I don't want to keep you too long. I don't want your wife to be super mad at me. But there's two more things.
She's gonna break apparently.
Oh, okay. She's gonna destroy us. So I wanted to ask earlier about the controversy regarding the feature project, and if there's ever been anything that you're willing to talk about. I love drama, dude. I love hearing about drama. I don't care to like really involve myself. I just want. Is there any spicy stuff you can tell me, or like something that happened?
No, I think like because it happened so much, like getting accused of favoritism and stuff. Like it's really not. Really,
I figured that was probably your number one thing every week, like your favorite.
Yeah, I've had like people try and launch smear campaigns and try and like do things like expose that I'm doing all this for my own benefit and stuff. And like, what's really nice is like when you start setting a reputation, like your reputation kind of defends you, right? So like the way that the smear campaign came around to me was like they were feeding. So it was two people, a couple. And some people might be able to place a name on it. I'm not going to say, but like they launched a bunch of smear campaigns and like doing the work. What is a
smear campaign?
So it's basically something to ruin your reputation. So it's something to kind of like go out and like expose stuff that doesn't exist. It's like spreading lies and stuff. So a lot of smear campaigns come in like politics, and this was like something quite similar. But it was a bunch of streamers that this had been happening to. And doing the work I do with the IT company and the legal company, we kind of saw everything. Like we've got everything that they've been saying to other people, and the people they were speaking to are the people that came to us and they were like, I don't know if this is true. It doesn't seem true, but like this is what I'm hearing people say. And like you look at the stuff and you're like, it's so far reaching, like, and time consuming. The things that they make, like, I don't know. It's like almost like I'm in with all these other brands, and we're doing this specifically. We're picking a specific demographic because we want to neglect like white males, and we don't want white males to thrive because they're doing better. And you know, Bumfluffski wants to be the ultimate white like male streamer in South Africa. Like honestly, stuff like this, dude. And it's like the most ridiculous thing, and you're just like, dude, if I had that much time in a day, I'd probably do something more clever.
What in the sea of the lawn bullshit is that, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Holy
That's not like the most ridiculous things. Like the stuff that those people did is just it's crazy. But all of this stuff was against people with really good reputations. So all of this stuff died really quickly. And that's kind of how you protect yourself in South Africa in that content space. It's like you are gonna get toxic people. But if you've got a good reputation, then you got nothing to worry about. I mean, like, you with the smear campaign that went out against you, dude, was laughable. Like, that's the thing. It's like it was laughable. Like, everybody watching it is just like, what is this?
Zashi was pushing my buttons one day, but like in the way that he is, because Zashi is like, he's my boy. He's literally my. If it wasn't for him, dude, I'd probably fucking, I don't know. But if it wasn't, anyway. So he was like really pushing me that day in stream, and chat is fucking on him, and everyone's like, yo, streamer Zassy's actually right now. I was like, Zassy, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna block you everywhere. So I block him on Twitter, all right? But it's literally it's a bit for the content, but he's actually worked me out. But I'm not like upset with him. I know what he's doing, and it is for content sense. So I block him, right? And he posts a screenshot of him, and he's like, well, this happened. It says HenricoM blocked you, bro. Like 4 people immediately like, yeah, but Henrico's a fair dude. Like, if he blocked you, you definitely this. I was like, my man, they know. And I think that's a perfect example of that being like, you know, if you have a good reputation, people will know. The right ones will stick up for you.
100%.
The right ones will stick up for you when needed.
A reputation. If you never have to worry about your reputation, it means that you've got a good reputation. Like, you don't have to try and prove to people that you're a good person, because then if you're trying to prove that, it means that you probably weren't. You aren't.
You're not a good person. Yeah. I never want to tell people that I want to be a good person. I always thought I just want to make someone smile or make their day. Like that is like my go-to focus. Man. Yeah, I would. That is my go-to focus. Like a lot of times especially when I do like these, like I had my December initiative. My December initiative was to stream every single day, because December can be a tough time for a lot of people because they don't.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, so that was my initiative with that, right? And the amount of messages I got. From people genuinely, now whether they were being genuine or they were just trying to get my attention, I would never know. But a lot of people genuinely messaging, being like, dude, like, thank you so much. Or I wouldn't be live like at like 11, and I'd get messages be like, dude, why aren't you live? Like, where are you today? You know, like stuff like that. There was one day I didn't stream because it was a friend's birthday, and it was spur of the moment. So I went and I was like, you know, dude, I deserve this fucking day. And people were like, bro, where are you? Like, I need my boy right now. And it made me feel really good about the initiative it's not an initiative, it's just that I wanted to do something for someone. I just wanted to be there for a person, because you never know what people are dealing with. And my life pretty much started getting, I don't want to say better, but I felt more happy when I started pursuing my streaming career. Because I was started in 2017. And I had basically 0 to no growth until 2020, when I got a new job and I didn't want to fucking kill myself every day because of my corporate job. Because it was a genuine thoughts that went through my mind. It wasn't. I'm not saying it to be edgy or anything. I was so done with it. I was like, this can't be it. This cannot be fucking it. I cannot work myself to deck every single day and then feel like this. And I was very fortunate to get a new job. And with the new job, I was able to put in a little bit more hours into the streaming, because something I've always wanted to do. Because when I grew up, I wanted to be an actor or singer. That was my go-to. Unfortunately, after school, there wasn't money to go study or go to drama school or anything. And I remembered like fucking yesterday. It was 2013. I matriculated, and my mom bought me a gig of data for my Vodacom stick, because that's the internet that I had. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go fucking watch a YouTube video. Now, a gig of data is not a lot, so I had very limited amount of internet, you know. So I was like, I'm gonna go watch a YouTube video, and I opened YouTube like, what do I want to watch? And I remember seeing Soda Pop on stream, or Soda Pop in a YouTube video. It's a YouTube video where he was playing World of Warcraft, and they were like attacking a death knight or something. I can't quite remember. And then I was like, this is the coolest video ever. And I saw under it's like, live almost always, and I click it, and it's Soda Pop and live on Twitch. And I'm like, literally that second, I was like, I'm gonna do this. Don't know how, but I'm gonna do it. I'm somehow gonna fucking do it. And 2017, Got Fiber started my thing, and then 2020 really pushed it. I grew more in 2020 that in the first 4 months of 2020 that I grew in 3 years, just because I put a lot more time and effort into it. And fast forward now, I'm almost at 1 year full time in pretty much a month. It's been a year full time. Thank you.
It's amazing to watch a journey, dude. It's been, dude. Honestly,
thank you.
Like I feel like a lot of us are very privileged to see people doing as well as you're doing.
Thank you.
You're a really good example to a lot of people in the scene, and people don't say thank you as much as they need to. I want to go back to one thing that you're talking about with like you don't know what people are going through. Did I say that properly? Don't know what people are going through.
Yeah, what people are. Yeah, what people are dealing
I felt like I said throw at the end there. Okay, so
thank you for all the nice messages, by the way. I see everyone's nice messages. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say thank you. I see all the nice messages. You guys are too kind. Forward kisses. Forward kiss. How much do a karaoke stream? I'll tell you what, dude. If you give 50 subs tonight, I'll do a karaoke stream, okay? 50 subs, Strad. There you go.
Can sing, dude.
50 subs, Strad, and I'll do it for you.
Yeah, so during 2020, I got a message from somebody that was majority of the time a lurker. I engaged with them quite a few times, but not that much. And I had a message from them that said, thank you for giving me a place to exist. And I was like, it was a lot, dude, because that word is a scary word, dude.
That is very scary.
It's a very scary word. And I asked him about it, and he said, especially during 2020, because people didn't go out and see each other much. But he said even before that, like, he felt like he walked around and nobody saw him, nobody acknowledged him, nobody said hi. And he's like, this is the first time. It was the first time in a long time that somebody had greeted me by name, asked me how my day was. Every time I came back, they were asking me about something that I said I was going to do. And he's like, it was just really special and it saved him. And I was like, thank you for telling me, because I think there's a lot of people that don't say these types of things. And it actually it flipped the switch on me, because I was like, I'm actually incredibly privileged to be able to share a space with people like we do on the internet. Like, to be able to have a space where people come and give up time of their day to come and spend it with us. Like, that's an incredible privilege. It's insane. And we got the privilege of doing that. We don't know how many people we save, and you guys don't know how many times you saved us. Like, it's
100%. 100%.
Dude, my psychologist is in chat here somewhere. She was giving me nonsense just now, but she'll know. Like, I don't know how horribly depressed I was until I started seeing her. My wife sent me through. And one of my biggest coping mechanisms was streaming. And I didn't know how much, but like that saved me a lot. Wow. That saved me a hell of a lot. It's just that it gave me a place to exist and disappear to. Because if you think about it, streaming takes 100% of your.
Oh yeah.
So you've got no time to worry about anything or think about anything else, dude. So it's like, it's amazing, dude. Honestly, like, you are famous. You are a superhero. All of you guys in chat are. You guys have saved people more than you know.
Don't give famous more power, dude. But I have to agree with something you said. Like, people don't. I don't think viewers always realize what they do. There's someone, I'm gonna call him out. His name is Ash in my stream. He's a very, very new viewer, and that man has lifted me from the deepest dumps sometimes. As much shit as he gives me, and as much as he's like, because I call my viewers very toxic, because they are fucking toxic, but as much as they get to the toxicity levels, they can always help like a lot. And there's been days where I was very, very down in dumps, and he helps the homie out, you know. He lifts me up, whether it be by gifting a sub, or he tells someone like, hey, why didn't you sub? And the person subs, and you're like, oh, dude, I didn't have to do anything. Thank you, you know. It's I don't think viewers always realize. And then I also wanted to make a comment on what you said about remembering viewers stuff. Now, I try my best to remember names of people I see regularly. And I try to remember stuff that they talk about. And I don't think as a streamer, so if you're a streamer and you're listening, try and take this advice. If a viewer tells you that his car broke down, okay? His car broke down and he doesn't know he's gonna fix it. And you're like, that fucking sucks, dude. Like, you got this, blah blah. You know the usual response you give, because that's what we do. We're at a point where, like, if someone's car breaks down, I know nothing about fucking cars, so I will not be able to give you any good advice. But the next time they come to your stream and you ask them, hey, did you get that car sorted out, dude? I promise you, 8 out of 10 fucking times, that person will be like, holy shit, he remembered. That is insane. Because maybe he didn't tell anyone else about it. He only told you because he felt safe in that sentiment or in that moment to tell you and talk to you about something that's bothering him or them, whatever the fuck. And you remember that could make someone's day sometimes, because it happened a few times where I asked someone something about something they told me maybe a week ago, and they're like, holy shit, you remember, dude? Thank you so much for asking, blah 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 blah. And I think that can help a lot as a streamer, especially if you're very community focused, which I am. I'm very, very engaged in my chat. I fucking pride myself and how much I try to be engaging with my chat, whether it be, on personal stuff or letting them talk about whatever they want to talk about, be it, sad stuff, happy stuff, Monka stuff, or, whatever. I'm a firm believer, if you want to talk about whatever, let's talk about whatever. So as a streamer, I really, really try to motivate people to try and engage with the viewers. Don't get involved, but be engaging where you can remember someone when they come back, and you will make their fucking day. You will make their day if you can remember something they told you about maybe a week ago that might legitimately have been bothering them. And you ask them about it, and they're like, damn, he remembered, dude, thank you so much. And then the whole conversation starts again, because I guarantee you, he will come back, or they will come back. Without a doubt.
And it's really easy to do as well, because all you have to do is take a genuine interest, right? So, like,
exactly.
What I do, a really good thing that I do before I get, like, when I'm prepping to stream, it's like I just go through everybody that's currently streaming. I'll go and I'll just spend, even if it's 30 seconds, I'll just check out.
Say hello, see what they're doing.
No. Just see what they're doing. If they ever raid through, then I can talk about what they were doing, and I can at least have a conversation with them. And I'll be like, oh, when I was stopping by your stream just before I got started, I saw that you were taking on some dog-looking thing on Dark Souls, dude. How did that shit go? Did you guys pass? It's a complete conversation thing, and it comes from a point of interest, because you actually want to know those things. If you take interest in somebody, you don't have to write something down. None of that stuff. You will remember it. You'll remember that tweet that they sent, or like something on Instagram that they posted.
So they spoke about
all of that stuff, because you show interest in it. It's a very genuine interaction, and that's the easiest way, because you are not only remembering something, but you're giving somebody that existence. You're breathing more life into their life. You're going like, oh, you did something noticeable, and I love that you did something noticeable.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
I love that.
Big, very big.
Bum, this has been amazing. Sir. I'm loving this. This is great.
I could talk for hours, man.
Me too. Have to. We somewhere. It's the best time to give it a good call. Now I'm gonna end my segments with something new from now on, and I would like to know, and I'm gonna use this forever going forward. Do you have any ghost stories? Any ghost stories? Any something that's ever happened to you, or something you experienced that you just like, holy fucking shit.
We're gonna talk for another 2 hours, dude.
I have a lot, but my chat knows most of them. But if there's one that stands out for you,
I'm gonna tell you two. The first one I'll tell you very quickly. I remember I stayed in a house as a lighty, and in the middle of the night I heard rustling at the end of my bed, and I looked, and I can still see it in my mind, but there was a dog covered in plants, dude, and it was wet, and it was there briefly, and then like I got a fright, and my dad ran in, and there was nothing there. And I'm like, nothing there. Next day, my friend comes from next door, tells me his dog drowned in the pond or something, down like in the fault. So that might have been the ghost. It definitely wasn't the dog, because there's nothing in the room. That was one. Second, I stayed in probably one of the most haunted houses. Shit. I don't know. We always had things that were happening. Like we had a painting on the wall that all of a sudden, like this ghostly figure started appearing, and over time it would just become more developed, and this blue hue just started growing over the photo. It was really weird.
Holy fuck.
But we stayed in this house, right? And one night in particular, I remember my duvet kept on getting like pulled down, and like I was trying to fight it back, and I kept on pulling. And then eventually, like I felt like I was being held. So like all that happened, like I don't know, I was kind of on my side, and then my head just moved by itself, and I looked up, and it looked like a little LED light in my roof. Like I had a high ceiling. It was just this LED thing, and like I still don't know what the hell that is, but I just remember it distinctly. And I struggled to get up, and I was just like, I felt like I was just being constricted the whole time. And I had like a big room,
Almost
so
like
it was
sleep
7
paralysis.
meters. Almost, dude, exactly like that. So I was walking, but like just very like constricted. And as soon as I took a step out of my room, I fell like to the ground, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Holy shit. That's
Yeah,
some
dude.
good stories. Those
Dude,
are
I
some
got
good ones.
plenty,
Dude, I
dude.
have so
Yeah,
many as
those-
well, but we're gonna talk forever. We can actually talk forever.
Those ones. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a good ghost story. I always say the same thing, whether you're a believer or not a believer. Like, surely in your mind you have to know by now there has to be something, because there's so many things that people are saying from all over the world for like fucking millenniums. Like there has to be surely there's another
We're not
dimension where there's
important
like a
enough for there to
ghost,
be
dude.
nothing else, right? We're
That's-
definitely not important enough for us to be the only thing.
Exactly. The plants can only do so much, bro. The
Hell
plants
yeah.
can only do so much.
Maybe it is the plants, dude.
I'm gonna give it over to chat. If there's any last minute questions, any quick little thank yous, or anything anyone wants to pop out towards our boy Bumfluffski. I did pin a comment in chat with all Bumfluffski's information and where you can go and give him some love. One of the mods, if you guys can please just shout out our boy Bumfluffski. Please go give him a follow, give him some love. Remember, on Monday we have the featured streamer. You guys should totally go vote. Just totally go vote for your favorite streamer or who you think is the best. Yeah, definitely. Imagine the fucking headlines, boys. Bumfluffski goes on my podcast. Henrico gets nominated as featured streamer. Favoritism.
Yeah, that's in the 500 rand gifted, dude.
There we go. Emma wants to know, how does he get such long and luscious hair?
This is all my head can do. So honestly, if it did that badly, then it's just not right.
Unlucky, Emma. I have a last minute
That's all my head
question.
does.
What is the most cringe belief you have, and why is it ghost? Because I have a broader mind, I guess. I don't fucking know. See, Kamanu is like, he's frustrating because he's such a smart person. Like he's
Yeah, I can
overly,
pick up, dude.
he's
It's
so
awesome.
he's so fucking smart. He's like a big dick in America. He does like, I don't know. He's just, dude. Whenever I talk to him, I'm like, God, I'm so fucking dumb. And he's just like, because you can always try and you ask him something, I have an answer. He might not know the answer, but he'll go find the answer for you. He's like Will Smith in like Pursuit of Happiness. He's insane. I appreciate the fuck out of you for joining me. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. For everyone who tuned in from the stream. If you're watching this later on YouTube, TikTok, wherever the fuck, dude. Thank you very much for watching. Go type in the comments, I have a big willy, and I will reward you with a forward kiss in your dreams. Bum, the floor is yours. Please shout out whatever you like, anything you want people to look at, anything you want people to remember, do. The floor is yours. Go ahead, and we'll end it off with that.
Go out there and just be good to people. Like that, you've got a choice every single time. Every single interaction can be good or bad. You're either helping or hurting. Just go help. That's it. That's all I've got to say. Like if everybody looks out for each other, somebody's looking out for you, and you never have to worry. Let's do that.
That's so fucking wholesome. I hate it. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for the followers. Everyone who is new to the channel, if you guys want, you can also leave a follow on my stream. All my socials are below, but the main man is our boy Bumfluffski. Please give him all the love. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Stay safe, stay awesome. Take care of yourself, take care of your friends, take care of your family. And don't forget to check up on your friends. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cheers.